an amazing game on Sunday, yet they still don't win, right? Maybe the defense has an off day. Maybe the Rams score on special teams. I don't think it's fair to say he has to win a Super Bowl for us to put all the questions away. How many quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl in the last 10 years? Maybe three. Three quarterbacks, right? You throw Jalen Hurts in there. You got Mahomes. You have Tom Brady. Maybe I'm missing somebody. What, Nick Foles maybe? So maybe four quarterbacks. Four quarterbacks and four teams have won Super Bowls. No one's questioning Josh Allen. Obviously, I saw a stat today that was stupid, though. Like, he has 30 more touchdowns, combined touchdowns, than anyone else in the league since he's been in the league. Ridiculous, right?
For Stafford?
Yeah. For Josh Allen.
Oh,
because of his rushing touchdown. I understand that Josh Allen, guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are more talented guys than Sam Darnold. And they haven't been able to get over the hump, so what happens? Their coaches get fired. I think that if Sam Darnold goes out and plays a good football game, some doubt needs to be erased because it's so hard to win a Super Bowl. So why place that expectation on Sam Darnold when you don't place it on anybody else? Understand the other two are exceptions because of just their style of play and their success and how many touchdowns they have scored. But I don't think it's fair. I think there's a way that Sam Darnold plays great on Sunday, and maybe they don't win, to where I'm like, all right, it wasn't on him. Sam didn't do it. So I don't think it's fair that he has to win a Super Bowl for us to put all that doubt away.
Yeah, I do agree with you, though, that he's got the most to gain because I think that getting to a Super Bowl, and especially winning a Super Bowl, becomes an ultimate trump card when you're having debates about borderline quarterbacks. Let's say that Aaron Rodgers were to never make it to and win a Super Bowl. Having the career he did, 4-time MVP, like, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, even if he weren't to win. Now, you could always kind of hold it against him, but, like, we tend to recognize that sometimes even the best players never went on to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't think that Sam's competing for first ballot Hall of Fame entry with a win. He's just competing for that trump card for people to be able to play when they talk about his usefulness and his impact and his influence on a team. You know, it's the way that we talk about, like, Eli Manning. And that's no disrespect to Eli Manning, who had an incredible career. But you kind of play those 2 Super Bowl wins as trump cards when you're like, well, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, even if he wasn't, a top 2 passer all time, 2 Super Bowl wins. What are you going to do about it? Like, I think it becomes a trump card for Sam Darnold, and it becomes something that when people start to question him, you go, well, you won a Super Bowl. Yeah. And even if people try to say, oh, well, he did it with a great defense. Well, I don't know, man. He was still part of that team.
Yeah.
14 regular season wins. It's not on accident.
Yeah. He has the most to gain in this situation because he can literally, Sam Darnold, initials SD, right? Clear that SD card, right? Get rid of all those bad memories, all those bad uploads of turning up the ball over and throwing picks and not being able to produce when it's time to win ball games. Clear the SD card, all right, Sam Darnold? We're gonna start a new one. I got a new one for you. It's a micro SD card. You put it in the bigger slot,
right?
And we're gonna get it in to the laptop and create brand new memories for Sam Darnold because I'm tired of the same old, same old. But on the flip side, if he does go out there and look bad, then the haters are going to have some validity.
Does he have the most to lose? My answer for who has the most to lose is a little bit different. Is yours the same?
Go yours. I want to hear yours first.
Mine for the most to lose, I don't actually think – I think these 2 teams have been so obviously stellar this year that losing is really seen as like, oh, man, the second best team remaining isn't going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No one is seeing – the Patriots or Broncos as being better than either of these 2 teams.
Right.
So I think because of that dominance that both teams have had and the deference that people pay to them because of that, it's like, all right, well, spectacular season. If you weren't playing the Rams, you'd absolutely be in the Super Bowl. So no major losers. I think I just chose Matthew Stafford because even though he's already got a Super Bowl win, I think that this is probably his last chance to get another. You're going to have very natural statistical regression next year. It's just going to happen. It's the same way that I would feel about Cal Raleigh. I don't think Cal's going to hit 60 bombs next year. Just there's going to be natural statistical regression because it's already difficult to hit 60 home runs, and it's difficult to get over 40 touchdowns with those few interceptions. So I think it's going to be a tougher path, and you're older, and I think that he's already got one. It doesn't hurt his legacy at all. I don't think that not winning keeps him from the Hall of Fame. I think he's a Hall of Famer. But it's your last chance to do it.
Yeah, I can see that. Matthew Stafford has won MVP. He's probably going to win this year. He has won a Super Bowl. He's a Hall of Famer right now. Sean McVay has won a Super Bowl, been to a Super Bowl, has changed the game. I think he's a Hall of Famer right now. I think no matter what happens with those two, their legacies are good. They're just padding their stats right now. With Sam Darnold, I think he has the most to lose at the same time. I'm looking at
Okay.
Sam on both sides. I'm like, Sam, if you don't win this game, then they're going to say, I told you so. He's not the guy. And during the offseason, some national dummies are going to question if he should be the guy over here next year. Of course he's going to be the guy over here next year. Whatever happens on Sunday, it will not affect if he's a quarterback for the Seahawks. But what will affect it, or what it will affect, is how people look at him. So at the same time, I'm pretty much echoing what everyone else is saying in national media. This game is going to come down to Sam Darnold, but I'm talking about just personally his profile and how people see him. If he loses this ball game and loses it in a fashion to where they feel like he was turning the football over, then it's going to be, I told you so, he ain't it. If he wins this ball game, they're going to say, oh my God, we're changing our profile. What do we think about him? It's not true. This guy is capable of winning the big game and getting his team to the Super Bowl. It's most to gain, most to lose. I'm looking at Sam Darnold, man, and hoping that he's gaining instead of losing.
I think a lot of people are with you. I have two different answers. I think the only reason that I didn't choose Sam Darnold is the way that people talk about Sam Darnold now is what they're going to say about him if he loses. Mm-hmm. So to me, I'm like, well, people already view him as not being enough. How does that really change? Oh, people are going to say you can't win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold. I'm hearing that right now on my drive in.
Yeah.
So I don't really see it as a lot to lose, other than it just creates and cements a little more doubt, but that doubt's already there. I see it as playing with a little bit of house money because people are already doubting you. And what you can do is prove them wrong as opposed to hurting your legacy. However, I think a lot of people are with you on this, and that they do see him as having a ton to lose in this one. For instance, let's go to cut 3. Mike Wilbon had this to say about Darnold proving doubters wrong.
Still no. No, Sam Darnold had these games last year, key games. It was a turnover machine. His career
with a different team.
With a different team, with Minnesota.
Different team.
His career is marked by less than success.
Okay.
So, no, you have to win at least this one. I'm not even saying he's going to win the Super Bowl, but he's got to win this game at home against a hated division rival.
So I think there are quite a few people that say, not only have you not proven me wrong, but you prove me right when you don't make it. So, I don't know.
Here's the double standard. All right, this is my third time talking about the situation. Matthew Stafford had a game where he threw for 500 yards and lost that ball game. Did anyone look at Matthew Stafford and say, yeah, it's your fault? Like, I'm not saying Sam Darnold has to throw for 500 yards to lose a ball game, but if my man goes out there and completes 75 to 80% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, does not turn the ball over, they're good on third down, just the Rams found a way to put up another 580 yards and they outscore him. How can you look at Sam and say it's your fault? This is a team sport. Sam does not kick the football. He does not make tackles. He does not block for himself. He is not a running back. That's the thing. And I understand quarterback is the most important position in football. I agree 100%, but you can only control what you can't control. All right, and if he looks good late in the game and they need to make a couple of throws, and he makes those throws and the stats look okay, I'm not going to look at Sam and say, this is your fault.
I know.
It's a team sport.
Because you're a critical thinker. That's how people's brains work most of the time, though, even outside of football. If you think, for instance, this is going to be an analogy that annoys people, but just hear me out on this one. Let's say you think, I think women are typically dumb, and I don't think they're funny. If you're listening to our show and you hear me hosting the show, and let's say I make a mistake, I mispronounce a name, I make one mistake, I get everything else right that day, but I make one mistake, I've just confirmed your belief, and you pay attention to that, and that's this bright spotlight on that mistake. I think that when your expectations are higher for people, you overlook mistakes because you have a baseline, there is a belief that their baseline talent level is higher. When people look at Matthew Stafford, what they saw was 3 brilliant quarters. What they see going into it thinking that he's better than Sam, that he's a great player, is like, well, I just believe that he's better, so those mistakes, those are anomalies.
Yeah.
Those aren't going to happen. Those are things I can excuse. If Sam throws, conversely, if Sam throws for 350 yards but has a pick that cost them the game, Sam cost them the game.
Yeah.
If Matthew Stafford has a pick, let's say in the second quarter, but he throws 350, it's Stafford gave his all.
Yeah.
He gave his all. Yeah. 350 against that defense, holy cow. It's just when you have a belief about something, you look for things to reinforce it. And so when you believe Stafford's good, that's all you see.
And here's the jacked up part about that is Matthew Stafford has earned that too. He's
Yeah,
earned it.
yeah.
I mean, he's
I think he's Hall
got
of Famer.
a decade plus in the league of 3,000, 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. He's got, 40-something this year, 8 interceptions. He has earned that. And I wish I can go back and be in his 3rd or 4th year and clearly seeing that Matthew Stafford is a franchise quarterback and he's making plays. He just plays on a bad team. Isn't that what we said about Matthew Stafford? He's a good football player, good quarterback on a bad team.
Him and Calvin were stuck.
Yeah, exactly. So give Sam the same amount of grace. This is really his 2nd legit year in the playing for solid organization. The Jets, I crossed that out, man. I watched film of Sam on the Jets making great throws. He wasn't well coached. That organization is garbage. He didn't have talent around him. So let's judge him for what he's been the last couple of years. And if you still think that because of how he ended the year last year, that he's not capable of winning a big game, that's on you. I'm not going to knock you. I just don't believe it. I've seen him make so many big throws. I've seen him make game-winning drives. I've seen him have a horrible game and 4 interceptions and still bounce back and put this team in position to win the ball game. We've seen quarterbacks do that all the time. It's just hard for people to believe Sam because of his age and what you've seen before. That's fine. I'm on the side to where this is the big game. Last week was a step. This is another step. Every quarterback goes through these progressions of, okay, can he get her done? There is a scenario where the Hawks don't win this game and Sam looks great, and I feel good about him and who he is. There's a scenario where the Hawks do win this game and Sam just does what he's supposed to do, and I believe in him. Every game has its own identity. These questions will be answered here fairly shortly, 3 days, and I'm so excited.
Before we get to headline rewrites, I think the majority of listener responses I'm seeing agree with you. Sam Darnold's the answer for both. Most to gain, most to lose. Now, some people have different answers for them. For instance, Curtis, remind me who you had as most to gain and most to lose.
Most to gain, I mean, Sam Darnold for the Seahawks, but Matthew Stafford could probably cement a Hall of Fame case if the Rams go on to win the Super Bowl, and that would be his 2nd Super Bowl. He'd probably get MVP this year. Another guy in this game that has a lot at stake is Devontae Adams, who is 0-4 in conference championship games in his career. Never once gotten there. And then another person who I don't think is getting enough pub for what he said in the offseason, DeMarcus Lawrence, who said he had a much better chance of making it to the Super Bowl with the Seahawks than the Cowboys. People laugh at him. People scoffed at what he had to say. Yep. Well, here the Seahawks are 60 minutes away from going to a Super Bowl, and where are the Cowboys? The Cowboys were dead in the water by about week 8 of this season. So that's a lot to gain for one person being like, yeah, I saw it months ago before you all saw it.
Definitely other names here at play, for sure. Bum, tell me what you think about this point before we move on. Joe in Bellevue says, Sam actually has nothing to gain and everything to lose. He's in a no-win situation because they won't give him credit for any success.
I just disagree. If he goes out and wins this ball game, the weirdest stat in football to me are quarterback wins and losses because they attribute everything to him. So let's keep it consistent. If he wins this ball game, that is a quarterback win. He has an appearance in the Super Bowl. I disagree.
All right, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, breaking just minutes ago, John Schneider was named the 2025 Executive of the Year by the Pro Football Writers Association. What's the real headline?
Congrats to the writers on not overthinking this one. He's an obvious answer.
How long ago was this? Like just
probably
minutes?
5 minutes ago.
Okay, because I'm like, okay.
No, it's literally breaking
Let's
news.
go.
Yeah.
All right, John, we'll play, man. You guys got this one right. You see the moves that he's made. You bring over Sam Darnold. You got D-Law. You bring over Cooper Kupp. You get Rashid Shaheed, who's attributed, 3 touchdowns in return games so far. Yeah, he should get this, man. And they didn't overthink it. They didn't go with Raible, who I thought was going to, not Raible, but whoever the GM is over there for bringing over Raible and making some moves over there.
Yeah. Is it Wolf? I can't remember if it's
the Jags GM could have been in the mix too, bringing over Liam Cohn and then getting Jacoby Myers at the trade deadline. I think that helped their pass game a lot. There were some directions you could have gone, but finally he's getting some recognition, man. It's about 5 or 6 seasons overdue. There's some other situations where I thought he could have gotten it.
Yeah.
Big ups to John.
I think it's very cool that John's getting this recognition and getting the acknowledgement and the awards so late into his career. I mean, he's still relatively young as a person, but has obviously been here for, 15 now? And I think that we've talked with multiple people and asked them about, even when Carol was here, we'd asked about Carol, but we've asked about John a couple times. And most of them say, look, unfortunately, coach of the year and sometimes executive of the year tend to be like, who's the hot new name, who's made the big impact. And people overlook guys who have been there for a long time, even when they turn a program around or build them up. So very cool to see someone 15 years in get recognition they probably should have already had.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the AP Award finalists have been announced. Mike Macdonald's up for Coach of the Year. Clint Kubiak for Assistant Coach of the Year. JSN is a nominee for Offensive Player of the Year. And Nick Emanwari is a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. What's the real headline?
And Diamador Lenore was the only defensive nominee for Offensive Player of the Year. That's quite an accomplishment.
It is.
Very impressive.
Good job, Lenore.
Yeah.
Good job, AP. Again, not overthinking this. They don't have to win. But the fact that Mike Macdonald's getting recognition, I love it. I could see them going one or two different areas or different ways with this one. Clint Kubiak, yeah, the second highest or third highest scoring offense in the game this year, came over here and revamped this offense, found life into this run game. That makes sense. JSN Offensive Player of the Year, come on now. He's only, the 8th player, or he had the 7th or 8th most total yards in the season by a receiver in the history of the game. PFF gave it to Puka. Y'all tripping. Nick Emanwari, this should be the easiest one for me. I'm sure there's someone out there, the LB from Cleveland, who has better stats overall. But you look at the way that Nick Emanwari affects the game from all 3 levels. Their base is nickel now because of him. They get out there, they play even a lot of dime now, and you don't feel like you're losing a tackler because number 3 is a baller. So good job, AP. It's about time, man. The Seahawks finally getting some love. It feels nice to be appreciated. I sent my boys a text the other day because we're in our thread, and sometimes we send texts and no one answers, right? You just kind of look at it and move on. And there's this one I sent, I go, this lady sitting in the car, she goes, I want to be appreciated. And I'm like, this is it right here. This is the dang meme I sent my boys, man. I want to be appreciated.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Mike Macdonald says George Holani is an option to play on Sunday, but all 3 left tackles appeared on Wednesday's injury report. What's the real headline?
To be fair, the Seahawks have played with a 4-man offensive line when Jermaine Ifedi was here. So they've gotten some experience.
Jermaine's
got
just
some experience.
Driving around being like, what'd I do?
Just minding his
Taking
business.
shots.
He's
He's probably here driving down 405 right now. And be like, what did I do to Stacy?
I'll give Jermaine Ifedi this. I don't think he ever missed a game in his career. Here
That's
in
unfortunate.
Seattle.
He
Curtis!
Even worse now. I'm not jumping on this.
I'm glad I'm not the bad guy
I
anymore.
ain't jumping on this, man. This is y'all. But like I said, it don't matter to me who the number 2 guy or the number 3 guy is. You got your number 1 back. K9 to the rescue. Run that ball 20 to 25 times with that young man. Let him go over a buck or 100, and let's get it. But George Holani has showed he's serviceable. He has a touchdown this year. He's got 7 carries, I think. He's done it before. During preseason, he was one of the brighter spots. So no, I feel good about it.
I don't. I feel about Holani. I feel good about Ken. You've reassured me about Ken Walker and talking about his improvement and what you see from him in particular, so I feel good about that. I'm incredibly nervous about these 3 left tackles missing practice.
Oh, that's
I
different.
genuinely don't know. And there's a lot to be said for you're not facing the 49ers pass rush, which was last in the league in sacks. You're facing a Rams pass rush and a Rams defense where I don't think they're as good as Seattle. They're one of the best in the league, and their 2 defensive linemen, I think, are top 10 in sacks this year, or in pressures, one of those 2 categories.
I'm hoping this is just the knees are sore, the back is sore, whatever, the ankle, whatever it is, and we're this deep into the season. There's no need to make these guys go out there and practice hard like that. It's more mental at this point. The physical is not going to change much.
I'm curious to ask, we'll see if we can connect with Bob Condotta. The beat reporters I'll get here in like an hour. We'll pop out during a break and ask them, like, hey, Brady, Bob, Tim, what happens if they can't play? Who are they turning to? What do you think's going to happen here? All right, a reminder, we only have a 2-hour Bump and Stacy show today because at noon we become the huddle. We are going to be joined today by Coby Bryant and Jake Bobo. We're also going to hear from some of your favorite voices, get an opponent preview, and of course Wyman's going to join us, and the 3 of us are going to take you through getting you ready for the NFC Championship game. Coming up next, Bump says that this game is actually really simple, and he's going to tell us the key to stop the Rams.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. When I first met with Trajan Wealth, I love what I got. Straight talk. Not a sales pitch, straight talk. I left the meeting feeling empowered. They're fiduciaries, so their advice is built around what's best for you. I saw the difference, and so will you. Trajan Wealth specializes in retirement strategies for families with $500,000 or more, and they understand that no two retirement plans are the same. They offer guidance on a variety of financial objectives, including ways to earn higher potential returns and tax concerns as well. Let Trajan Wealth help you develop a plan that is going to meet your specific financial goals. Start by calling Trajan Wealth today, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Or go to TrajanWealth.com. That's TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Do you think there's a day that we host this show that we don't make Matt mad?
Not a chance. Every single day.
Matt, has there ever been a day where you left thinking, you know what, I'm proud of them and what they did? I'm glad we're friends.
Do you want the kind answer or the true answer?
The kind answer.
Every day, Stacy.
Thanks. What's the true answer?
Not a single day. Not a single
Okay.
one.
That's fine. We're starting early today. The huddle coming your way in less than 2 hours. Dave Wyman's going to join us. We are live from Seahawks headquarters at Virginia Mason Athletic Center and obviously previewing the biggest game in years. The Seahawks haven't been here in more than 10 years. Conference championship game on Sunday. Now, I've listened to a bunch of previews about this bump, and I am someone that sometimes gets overwhelmed by a lot of information, and I haven't figured out what to make of, like, strengths and weaknesses, and it feels like a toss-up for so many people. But you actually said, you know what? This game's simple.
Easy game.
It's simple. And I said, what are you talking about? It's
easy
simple.
game. This is how you simplify this game. Puka Nacua has 300 yards, 19 receptions, and 2 touchdowns against the Seahawks this year. He's got a long of 58, like 46, 54, 46, something like that. Touchdown of 41. He has lit us up. Everyone else has just been all right. It's been okay. The tight ends have made clutch plays, but no one's gone for like over 75, 60 yards. The running game has been okay, but no one's really hit you the way that Puka Nacua has hit you. Now, Davante Adams was still in the mix. Can't ignore that man.
And was gone for one of the games.
Yeah, he wasn't there for it. But we know who makes this thing go. It is Puka Nacua. If you can force anyone else to try to beat you, because this is what Davante Adams is not going to do. He ain't going to run by you. He's not going to run by. He will get open. He'll sit in the zone. When he's in the red zone, he will be creative and find space.
Get a 2-yard touchdown.
That is where he operates. That's where he's the best. The guy who hits you the most, everybody knows this. This isn't breaking news. This isn't newsflash, buddy. All right?
Newsflash, buddy.
Puka Nacua is the guy. So I watched how they used him against the Chicago Bears. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 or 6 receptions. On all receptions except for one, he was in motion. His first reception, motion from the number 3 receiver in trips to the number 2 receiver. He runs like a shallow, breaks a tackle, 15 yards. Next reception, he motions from the number 2 receiver in trips to the number 1 receiver all the way on the other side in a double look. He runs a hitch, 5 yards. One play, he's isolated on the backside, runs another hitch, 7 yards. Other reception, he motions from the number 2 receiver in trips. So when I say number 2 receiver, imagine you are on offense, you're looking down the field, and you have 3 receivers to your left side. Outside, the furthest outside is number 1. The next one's number 2, and number 3 is the one closest to the tackle or the tight end, whoever it may be. All right, so he's operating a lot, motioning from number 3 to number 2, or motioning all the way to the other side. He is going to motion. They're going to find ways to make the defense adjust, declare what they're in, and get him the football. Against the Bears, there were a lot of short throws. All the completions to Puka Nacua were no deeper than 5 to 10 yards. I think one because of Stafford's finger, and I think it was cold as heck, and the conditions or whatnot. If you can limit this guy to these short passes, I think you're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Why? Because the Hawks are just a better tackling team than the Chicago Bears. At one point, we had questions about the tackling early in the season. They shirt that up. I'm not worried about tackling. but it's about Puka Nacua. How are we going to handle these adjustments? Here's the reason why McVay is moving this guy around, because he's looking for matchups. That's why he goes from the number 3 receiver to the number 2. Can I get this nickel or the safety on me? That's why he goes from one side to the other side. Am I going to pull the safety down with me? They don't want him one-on-one with DBs. He can't operate that way. He's made some great plays, but I think especially against our group, they prefer him in the slot working on nickels and safeties because of the size advantage and just the angles when it comes to route running. It's simple. You stop Puka Nacua. If he does not go off, you have your chances of winning this game elevate tremendously. Make them have to go to the tight ends.
Okay.
Make them have to go to Devontae Adams.
I have 2 questions, 2 follow-ups. Number 1, let's talk about the simplicity of stopping Puka Nacua, because I'm buying what you're selling, and that, look, if you stop Puka, this is a hamstrung offense. That's the key. It really is that simple. But that's also like saying, well, I want to lose 45 pounds. It'll just take drinking a ton of water, getting a ton of sleep, eating in a deficit, and working out every single day. And it's like, wait a minute, that's tough. That's right. A tough commitment to stick to all the time. It is going to be tough to shut down Puka Nacua. So what do you do?
What I would do is, I mentioned some of this yesterday. When he's in the slot and he's able to get a free release, that's trouble for any defense. A free release means that there's no one on that second level making him adjust his route, either with contact or just being in his way and making him have to stem his route and doing all that good stuff. Once you do that to a slot receiver, now he can get back on track and run his route, but it does a couple of things. Jacks up the timing just a little bit, and visually it jacks it up for Matthew Stafford. And if Puka Nacua is the number 1 read and he's working out of the slot and he gets a free release, Stafford's going to peak. He sees that free release. Now his eyes are on the safety, trying to hold them and see what coverage they're in and anticipate the throw. And the timing is going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. If, say, Spoon walks down on the number 2 receiver when Puka's there, and you get hands on him, right? Or you force him to widen his route and have to stem it back in or stack it back up, visually that could mess it up for Matthew Stafford, because you're looking right now. I'm going to take a peek. How's that release looking? All right, it's not great. Let me go through my progression real quick and see if anyone else is open. I might get back to him. Or he could be stubborn and say, I'm going to stick with him regardless. Either way, visually, you want to give Matthew Stafford something to think about. Mm-hmm. And then physically, you want to give Puka Nacua, you want to make him get into his bag and use all of his technique. Free release on Puka is trouble for any defense. So you got to mix it up. And also what I would do, someone's got to follow him. He gets in that slot, and even if you are in zone, man, it could be Spoon on one side if he's in the slot, Nicky Mawar on the other side if he's in the slot. I'm over him. I'm gonna stand over him. I'm gonna stand, or maybe slightly inside shade, and give him something to think about. I think that's crucial.
Second question. I was listening to NFL Network's preview, and I think Jordan Rodriguez was a guest, and she said that she would love to see the Rams run more. Not only would she love to see that, but she thinks that that's actually going to be Sean McVay's attack against Seattle. How does that impact things? I mean, I know that Seattle's run defense is stellar, but, like, is there a world where Puka doesn't go off and the Rams win because they change their attack a little bit?
Yeah, of course. I think but here's the thing, man. The Rams ran the ball 29 times against the Panthers, 31 times against the Bears.
Sure, that's a good amount of
They've
carries.
been running the dang ball.
Okay.
I think they haven't been having the success that they won. 111 yards on 31 carries against the Bears. So I think what people do is they look at the number of times that Matthew Stafford threw the football against the Bears. 42 times, only completed 20 for 258, especially in conditions like what they were in.
Yeah.
So what, take away 5 or 6 more passes from Matthew Stafford and bump your total runs to 35, 36? Yeah, I can see that. But I don't think he's gotten away from the run. I think that he just leaned a little bit more on the pass against the Bears.
253 says, I don't know. In both meetings, we sacked Stafford 0 times. I think getting to Stafford is going to be the key.
There's so many keys, right? There, I mean, yes.
But what Bump's saying is, and I'm getting it.
If you want, number 1 key for me is making sure Puka doesn't go off.
Yeah.
Making sure Puka doesn't go off means that you're rerouting, you're tight in coverage, you're making life hectic for Matthew Stafford as well. I'm going to break down some of the sacks that the Bears had against Matthew Stafford doing 4-down territory, so we'll get through with you. But no, you're right. I mean, another key is making sure they don't run the football all over you. I mean, there are things that are always connected in football. It's never just one thing. But my priority number one for me is making sure Puka don't go for 225.
Well, and that great coverage on Puka, then you get coverage sacks, right? Then you get opportunities. Like, part of why there wasn't a ton of pressure on Stafford, not only was it not the best day for the defense in the second meeting, they just happened to not get to him in the first, but he didn't have an explosive day, is because he was finding Puka wide open. Like, the Rams were just burning Seattle's defense through 3 quarters, and there were so many opportunities where you were like, what is happening here? How did he find himself there? He's crossing over here, and there's no one touching him. It was one of the 2 worst days of the season for the defense. Now, the good news is there's only been 2 bad days for the defense this season. Unfortunately, you're playing a team where you struggled there. Let's see if they can turn it around. So I am with you on that one. It's just such a tough, I felt so much more confident going against the 49ers, but you feel pretty good going against the Rams. Curtis, you were talking to us off air before the show started. You feel pretty good about going against the Rams.
I do, yeah. The Rams haven't looked like themselves in over a month, and I think at this time of the year, you need to be playing your absolute best every single week. The Seahawks have been, the Rams have not, and I think that trend will probably continue into Sunday. That's why I'm feeling pretty confident heading into this one.
No, we'll see. I mean, maybe we're coming in here on Monday and I'm going, you guys were right, which is never something I've thought.
Not once.
Literally not once. Like, I don't think you guys have been right about, you were right about me losing my lunchbox. That's the only thing you were right about. I did.
And water.
I think it's somewhere in the building. And not drinking enough water. I think those are the only 2 things you guys have been right about, though.
That's it, huh?
There was on the most recent quiz, I did get one of the questions wrong that almost cost Bump a point. You guys were right about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. I think those 3 things.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Take 3.
Coming up at 11, FTN Fantasies, Aaron Schatz joining us to help preview what he's calling the best matchup in years. And I should say decades in that case. Hype Train coming your way next.
We are finally just about set.
1 win away from the Super Bowl.
Touchdown, Seahawks! A perfect pass by Darnold.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
These guys, they take it very seriously.
Seahawks, Rams, Sunday at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 3:30.
We're really having a hard time hearing thanks to the 12s.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
There's tons of stuff happening this January, and believe me, whatever you're into, you can have an absolute blast doing it at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Take, for example, the playoff games. Watch every game at Porter's Bay Sports Bar and Book. Cheer loud with the 12s and enjoy a steak dinner at their steakhouse on property after the game. Stay the night in one of their deluxe rooms and wake up feeling like a winner. If dry January is your kick, enjoy a relaxing stay at the spa and have a good night's rest. If you want to test your luck, you got the winter warm-up drawings every Friday for a chance at 5 Gs and polar payouts every Saturday for a grand prize of 10 Gs. Claim your free daily entry at any promo kiosk on property. That's all you have to do. Silver Reef Casino is the spot. Check it out if you haven't. If you have been, you already know what you are missing. Also, they have the NFC Championship watch party. See the Rams take on the Seahawks in the event center. It's Sunday, January 25th. Doors open at 2:30. The game is at 3:30. Get loud with 12s as you watch the Rams and the Seahawks square off, man. It's a perfect tailgate. Got food, drinks, and specials all day long. All right, all you got to do, drive up I-5, exit 260, silverreefcasinoresort.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
Holy catfish!
Sunday, kickoff at 3:30.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we're going to preview this weekend's game with FTN Fantasies. Aaron Schatz. Before we get to it, let's head to the station for Hype Train. First one in, obviously, the bulk of these are going to be about this Sunday's game. The Seahawks hold Matthew Stafford under 300 yards passing.
Listen, that finger is still bothering him. I think it is. Just looking at the film of him against the Bears, a lot of his passes were short, and I felt like it was on purpose because it's cold out there. That finger's acting up. He went for 258, 42 attempts, 20 completions. I think this is going to happen, man. I think that this defense is going to be ready to go. They're going to get after him, put some pressure on him, keep him under that 300, make sure that this game is within reach late.
The Seahawks hold Matthew Stafford under 300 yards passing. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
I'm also boarding that train. And yeah, Matthew Stafford has not looked like himself over the last few weeks. You look at his completion percentages from really that Seahawks game in the middle of December, 59%, 57%, 62%, 57%, and then 47% in that overtime win against the Bears. That is not where we're used to seeing him up near about 70%. At least that's what he was heading into December. So it's been a minute since Matthew Stafford has looked like himself. And like Bump said, that finger injury might be having a bigger impact than a lot of people are realizing.
I'm boarding as well. I think that I keep hearing so much about the Rams run game, and I don't think that they want to pass it as many times as they did against Chicago, and will try to correct. Will they overcorrect? I don't know, but I don't see him getting over 300 for that reason. Next up, calling my shot. Jackson Smith-Njigba is the first touchdown of the game. Of the game,
Of the
Craig.
game.
Of the game.
Craig.
Not even for Seattle. Of the game.
Of the game. This is what I think is going to happen. I think defense is going to be out there first. Matthew, are you making decisions for me now?
Oh, Matt, I think you got confused because you said this is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Thinking that was the prompt.
You gotta let it breathe.
So let me finish my thought, man. Okay, just relax.
I love you, Matt. I would never say that
It's all
to you.
good, man. I know you get nervous. It's fine.
So
this is what I think is going to happen, comma. I think that
it's really a colon.
Whatever. I think that whatever. Yeah, go ahead, man. Blow the whistle again.
You think it's gonna
do it again? Do it again. My analysis is done. I'm distracted.
Matt, the NFL music.
He
the
needs
NFL
to do that
music.
for himself. He's the one who blew the dang horn way before he's supposed to blow the horn.
You have
Working with
never,
amateurs here.
in the history of this segment, said, I am boarding the train. The point of the segment. It is so difficult to determine when you are on or off a train.
Well, you've been doing it for 3 years now, so act like you know me. Act like you know my tone and my cadence, and let me do my thing.
More
Matthew.
importantly, Matt, we settled on the sad NFL music. That's what I need to hear in these moments.
For what? For Matthew? Yeah, play it for
No,
him.
for all of us.
Play it for him.
For all of us. Whenever any of us do something that's a little bit of a sad trombone moment, we do da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I'm sorry, I'm taking us off the rails. This is my fault. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, man.
Right?
No one gets it
To
anymore.
me,
It's
I'm like,
over.
oh no. JSN is the first touchdown of the game. Curtis, are you boarding?
I will board this train.
See how easy that makes it?
I didn't think I had to spell it out for you. If you just let
I'm
me
an
finish my
idiot. Yes, you
analysis,
do.
you would have understood. But you got so excited. Let me finish my thought.
I just think you guys are so connected because you did board the train.
I was gonna board it, but
Right. I feel like Matt
whatever.
just knew that. I'm boarding as well. All aboard! JSN's the first touchdown of the game, Craig. Next up. That's a texter noted the Seahawks haven't sacked Matthew Stafford yet, but they will on Sunday. They finally get to him.
I am boarding this train because they are going to sack Matthew Stafford in the competition on Sunday. The game starts at 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. actually, and because the Seahawks defense is so good, I am boarding this train, and he will be sacked.
Matt's going to get you there. The Seahawks finally sack Matthew Stafford. Curtis.
I think they do it. Yeah, we're boarding this train. I think the guy who is going to get Matthew Stafford down is going to be Derek Hall.
Byron. Oh,
Derek
okay.
Hall. I think he does it.
I like it.
I'm boarding. I'm going to say Byron Murphy. Wow, everyone aboard all of these trains. Let's get to another one here. The Seahawks will finally have, the Seahawks will have at least one major award winner. So between Nick Imanwari, JSN for Offensive Player of the Year, Mike Macdonald for Coach of the Year, and Clint Kubiak for Assistant.
It's going to be Nick Imanwari. That's an easy one.
You think that he's going to get Defensive Player over Carson Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, he is. I think that people are going to come to their senses and realize that he's the most versatile player in the game. Therefore, he should get it. I'm boarding this train.
Okay, Curtis. The Seahawks will have at least one major award winner. Bump is boarding, going with Nick for Defensive Rookie of the Year. What about you?
I'm going to board. I think it's JSN for Offensive Player of the Year. I'm stunned that Trevor Lawrence got an MVP, or he's an MVP candidate over JSN. He was like the fifth one. Christian McCaffrey was the only non-quarterback among the candidates. I feel like JSN mattered more to what the Seahawks did than Trevor Lawrence and the Jags did.
Maybe if JSN had
he went over
16
2,000
touchdowns.
yards.
Yeah, if it was something like that. I just think that position players, skill players have to do so much more, and a quarterback's just like, did he get hot at the right time? Well, he's a quarterback, so that's good enough. I'm boarding this one as well, and I think it's going to be JSN for Offensive Player of the Year. Next and last, hype train into the station. A debate we were having yesterday. I said Dick's fries are not great. I love Dick's burgers. They're fantastic.
Matt's already mad.
I know, and I'm poking the bear here, but McDonald's has the best fries, is the hype train.
I'm not boarding this train.
Okay.
I'm going with Rallies, man. Rallies are my favorite fries. I know it's a Cali thing. Someone told me there's a Rallies in Linwood or Kent. Someone texted in and
even
tell
know
me.
what this is.
I'm thinking Linwood. Probably not Kent.
All right. So I need to find this Rallies because those fries are the best. I appreciate it.
They do look really good. McDonald's has the best fries. Curtis, are you boarding? Bump isn't.
I'm not going to board. I'll go with Chick-fil-A. I especially love the waffle fries that you can kind of scoop some sauce out, not just necessarily dunk. I like the scoopers. So we're not boarding this train.
A problematic choice. I'm going with Wingstop with Cajun seasoning. I love some seasoning on fries. I know that I started out with McDonald's, but I just had to have a launching point, and I didn't think that people would co-sign Wingstop, but they're very underrated with the fries. Amazing. God, I love French fries. All right, FTN Fantasies, Aaron Schatz joins us next.
We are finally just about set.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
Touchdown, Seahawks! A perfect pass by Darnold.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
These guys, they take it very seriously.
Seahawks, Rams, Sunday at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 3:30.
We're really having a hard time hearing thanks to the 12s.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The AP Award finalists have been announced, and the Seahawks have 4. Mike Macdonald up for Coach of the Year. Clint Kubiak is a nominee for Assistant Coach of the Year. JSN for Offensive Player of the Year. And Nick Imanwari is a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Winners will be announced at NFL Honors on February 5th.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. We're going to be joined in just a moment by FTN Fantasy's Aaron Schatz. Before we get to it, Bump, and we'll ask Aaron about it. He said that this is going to be one of the biggest matchups between 2 of the best teams we've seen in almost 50 years. By DVOA, his metric, but like it's pretty reflective of really good teams. There have been other matchups like the New England Patriots in 2007 against, I think, Tennessee. But they were really carrying the load of that one because they were such an incredible Indianapolis. Forget it. I don't need to. That's a question for Curtis, and I don't have time. But it was weighed so heavily towards one side. So there's a couple of those matchups. This is the #1 team and the #2 team with a gap between them and everyone else in the NFC facing off in I feel like what's basically the Super Bowl. Both of these 2 teams are the 2 best teams remaining.
Makes for a great Sunday. This is what it's supposed to be. And on the other side, I feel like because of the circumstances, the AFC got it right. It's just not as exciting as what's happening over here.
Yeah, it's like on paper, these were the 2 teams you could have predicted, but it doesn't feel
that way.
No.
Because of injuries and whatnot, too. And that's what's good about this one as well is that other than the left tackle situation, both teams are fairly healthy. So you're going to get your best shot. There's going to be no Niners when they're whining, oh, we didn't have Kittle, we didn't have this guy. Okay, Kittle's not going to make up for 41 points being scored. But here you feel like both teams are playing good ball.
All right, let's bring on Aaron right now. FTN Fantasy's Aaron Schatz joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Aaron, we were just talking about how these are the, you'll have to correct me, the best 2 teams in DVOA to meet in a game in 47 years. Did I get that right?
That is correct. My numbers go back to 1978.
Wow.
And if you add together the ratings of two teams in a playoff game, this is the best playoff game.
Yeah, now and we're excited for it. And the matchup there are a lot of matchups you can look at, but I love the coaching matchup. You have what is thought to be one of the best defensive coaches in the game in Mike Macdonald, who we know is one of the best offensive coaches in the game, in Sean McVay. How do you view this matchup, and where are the advantages for both sides?
Yeah, the coaching matchup is absolutely fantastic. I'm a little shocked by some of McVay's coaching over the last couple of weeks because everybody made such a big deal out of the Rams and their use of 13 personnel this year. And McVay sort of put it away over the last couple of weeks, and the offense has struggled. And he really needs to bring it out again because the Seahawks have a little bit of a weakness against tight ends. They're only 16th in my ratings against tight ends. So, I don't know whether it's because Devontae Adams was back, and so he felt like he needed to get Adams and Nakua on the field together. But I think they need to go with that 13 personnel grouping against the Seahawks.
I keep hearing analysts say they should run the ball more against Seattle, which is interesting because Seattle is an excellent run defense. But what do you make of that analysis, that approach?
Yeah, no. Seattle is like a historically good run defense.
Really
like
good.
One of the greatest run defenses ever. Why would you want to run the ball more? I don't understand. You put the heavy personnel on the field to make them think you're going to run, and then you pass.
Yeah, and what I like about if a team were to put that heavy personnel out there, it wouldn't really change the personnel of the Seahawks defense because, you got Ernest Jones and Drake Thomas on the linebacker spot, and Nicky Moore, who's anything you want him to be. Defensive line, rushing off the edge, second level, back in the secondary. How has Nicky Moore allowed this defense to kind of stay in a base defense and not have to adjust too much?
Yeah, it's kind of incredible. They just stay in the nickel. They never change. And they still stop the run so well. The one thing Nick Immanwori doesn't do is play safety. He's listed as a safety, and he never plays safety. He's almost always either a slot cornerback or a linebacker. He's never really a safety, but what he allows them to do by going between those two positions is just leave the same people on the field.
I know that your analysis for this one probably feels cool because you have so much information about them, like almost wire to wire. We've seen these as two really competitive teams. The Rams favored to start the season, but it became obvious about midway through, like, oh, these are maybe two of the best teams in the NFC. So you've been tracking them all year long. Is there anything that, by the time we've gotten to this moment, is a surprising strength or a surprising weakness for either team that you've dug up?
Well, it's surprising just how good the Seahawks have been on defense and on special teams. By now it's not surprising because they've been that good all year. But I don't think anybody expected that going into the season, that they would be so good, like historically good in those two areas. And for the Rams, I think people knew they had the really good defensive line and that they had good safeties. We know the weaknesses of the cornerbacks and the linebackers, and that hasn't changed. So there's not really much surprising about the Rams. The Rams do well what we thought they were going to do well.
Yesterday I looked at like one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? Devin Bush Jr. was here and didn't play great. He's in Cleveland now. He's an all-pro type of dude. And I look at Ernest Jones and what he meant to the Rams when he was there, when they won the Super Bowl. He goes to Tennessee. Now he's here. Do you remember why the Rams let him go? And do you feel like, obviously, he's playing his best football here with the Seahawks, or why he's playing his best football here?
Yeah, I don't know exactly why they let him go, but I do know that they don't really value that position. If you look at their roster construction, they go very cheap on off-ball linebackers. So, what they want out of that position might be different, and how much they want to spend on that position might be different. But his ability to play both the run and the pass, it just adds to that, Mike Macdonald-like ability to keep the same people on the field, no matter whether it's a passing down or a running down. And that is just a really important part of Seattle's defense because they're prepared for everything.
Hey, Aaron, I'm noticing a common theme with all the football shows and podcasts I listen to, and I love them all. So many great voices out there. But what I'm noticing is every single episode, every single podcast and show will say, God, this is a toss-up. Two great teams. I'm going with the Rams, but the thing is that every single one is going with the Rams. I'm like, well, maybe it's not a true toss-up to some people. Why do you think that there tends to be a pretty common favorite there, despite seeing both teams as being deeply competitive?
Offense is more predictive than defense, and that is true. Okay, so the offense for the Rams is a little bit more predictive that they'll be really, really good than the offense for the Seahawks, than the defense for the Seahawks. You know how good the defense is for the Seahawks. But I think that offense, defense, and special teams altogether for the Seahawks, even if you sort of lower defense and special teams a little bit because they're less predictable, I think that still is a better combination what the Rams have. The Rams' pass defense is only 13th in my numbers since week 10. So their pass defense has not been great over the last couple of months. Obviously, it looked really good last week in the snow, but that was in the snow. I mean, this absolutely is a very close game. But if you look at how the teams are trending, I think the Seahawks are the favorite for a good reason.
I can't believe we've gone this long and haven't asked you one question about Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
Because he
well,
seems
that's
to
the
be...
other reason. That's the other reason why people favor the Rams. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, just what type of game do you think is needed from Sam Darnold to get this one done?
Don't throw picks under pressure. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Don't throw picks under pressure. Obviously, you look back at the first game, throwing picks under pressure was a huge problem for the Seahawks, and it's why the Rams won. And it's what everybody is afraid of with Darnold in an important game. As long as he doesn't throw the picks under pressure, I think they'll get enough offense that the defense and special teams should carry the day.
He's faced pressure in other games, like a ton from the Vikings, though. Obviously, that was a Seahawks win and a shutout. It wasn't because he went off, but it feels like the Rams just get the best of him. Is it the way they bring pressure?
It might be, because if you think about, right, the game that everybody's scared of is the playoff game from last year when he was with Minnesota, when they sacked him roughly 537 times. So I don't think anybody wants that to happen again. So you look at that, and then you look at the first game of this year where the pressure led to picks. Now, look at the second game of this year. The second game of this year, neither of those things happened. Right, and Darnold played well, and they scored a bunch of points, and the thing ended up 38-37. So it could go in a number of different directions. But again, what I think is that as long as he can control the picks a little bit, that the defense and special teams have enough of an advantage on the Rams that the Seahawks are rightly favored. It's not absolutely going in their direction. And add in home field advantage. Home field advantage means something. I happen to be a believer that home field advantage is pretty much the same everywhere. I'd like to apologize to the 12s for saying that, but it does exist, and so y'all mean something, and that does mean something.
The Hawks have been able to really get the run game going maybe the last quarter of the season, if you want to break it up that way. Do you think they'll be able to continue their trend of running the ball? They're averaging about 172 yards the last three.
Just remember, it's a different type of running game with Charbonnet out. Charbonnet is the steady guy who gets all the 4s and 5s. Walker is much more about getting stuffed and then breaking a long one. So you have to accept that there's going to be more variation. I don't know how much of Helani they're going to use. You have to accept there's going to be more variation in the running game without Charbonnet there. But, yeah, overall, in total, I think they'll be able to have a good running game.
With the acknowledgement that Jarrett Stidham being the starter changes and affects this answer, what kind of gap is there in DVOA and overall production this season between the team that's going to come from this game on Sunday and the one that's coming out of the AFC?
If there's a Seahawks, it's a pretty significant gap. If it's the Rams, it's a significant gap if you look over the entire season, but it's less of a gap if you put more weight towards recent games and more weight to the playoffs, because the Rams have not played as well in the playoffs as the Seahawks have or as the Patriots have. The Stidham thing is, I mean, I don't know obviously he could win. It's not likely, but the Broncos were the fourth of these teams when it comes to, if you add in the playoffs, the Broncos are clearly the fourth of these four teams.
Last time, or at least going into the season and looking at the Rams from last season, that defensive line just gave me nightmares. How have they been playing in the playoffs and towards the end of the season?
Well, I mean, that's a really good defensive line. Puna Ford, right, is shockingly good given his size and stopping the run. Kobe Turner, obviously we know about Verse, Braden Fisk. Yeah, I mean, they've been playing well, absolutely.
You mentioned, if we were doing weighted DVOA, that like the Rams would take a little bit of a hit there. I know earlier in the interview you mentioned Sean McVay getting away from 13 personnel. Has that been their primary issue, or are they just in general not playing as well? What do you see from them?
The offense has dropped a little bit in the playoffs, and a lot of that is, I think, getting away from the 13 and then the snow, in Chicago. But the defense declining. What's declined for the Rams in the second half of the season is the defense, while the Seahawks have gotten better on defense, and the Patriots have really gotten better on defense. Like the Patriots defense has had its best 4 games in the last 4 weeks, even if you adjust for the opponents. So that's why when you talked about the NFC versus the AFC, I see the Patriots as being a very different thing than the Broncos.
How does Devontae Adams look after his hamstring injury?
I mean, he looks fine. They're trying to get – I feel like they're sometimes trying to force him the ball a little bit. Like, that's the thing about is they're like forcing it to have him on the field, but he looks fine. He's still a very talented receiver. Obviously, Nakua is the biggest danger. He had we're going to have quite a fun debate about Offensive Player of the Year when that voting comes out between Nakua and Jackson Smith-Njigba. I'm one of the voters, and it was like I wanted to ask if I could vote for a tie. Those two guys were so good this year.
What separates them too? This will be the last question, but I mean, we were even talking about it earlier today, and maybe we have bias, but we're looking at JSN, even though Puka is phenomenal. I feel like I shouldn't ask you who would get your vote right now, but what do you kind of see as the difference between them and the qualities both have that really blow you away?
I can't say who I voted for, but Nakua is more of a yak guy, whereas Jackson Smith-Njigba is more of a contested catch. They both come out of the slot a lot, so that's not a difference. I mean, they even both come out of the backfield some, right? There was a game, I think it was the first game against the Rams where they couldn't get anything to Smith-Njigba in the first few drives, and then they started like taking him and sending him out of the backfield, and all of a sudden they were getting him open, and they both are just really good, like route runners, and I mean they're not like the fastest guys on the field, but they're certainly fast, and they check off all the boxes.
Chief Analytics Officer for FTN Fantasy, Aaron Schatz, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thank you, Aaron, so much.
Thanks, Aaron.
Hey, thanks. Our NFC Championship preview will be up tomorrow on FTNFantasy.com, by the way, so everyone should check it out.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for that one, you guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Do you know how funny it would have been? I was thinking about this during his answer. If Aaron would have been like, I guess I would describe Jackson Smith-Njigba as like a Formula One car. and Puka's kind of like NASCAR, and then you're just losing your mind. How is this analogy getting out there? Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
All right, Bump, first down. How can the Seahawks get that pressure on Stafford?
So the last 2 games, they've not been able to get after him. So naturally, I looked at what the Bears did. They had, 3 or 4 sacks against the Rams last week, and this is how they did it. They rushed 6. That first sack, the ADB, that nickel, really just flew off. So it looked like that late pressure allowed the running back to think that 6th guy wasn't coming and he'd be able to free release. They confused him there. That second sack, they rushed 5 again. The DB off the edge. 6 stayed in. The running back stayed this time, but the DB just beat the tackle off the edge. And then another one, they rushed 4, but they showed 6. Another corner blitz. This time not from the nickel, but from the outside, where they showed pressure. They walked those linebackers up like they're going to blitz. 1 or 2 drop, and then you send another 2. What they did was the extra guy that they sent was the nickel or was the cornerback. I don't know how comfortable they felt doing that. I know we've seen it before. I've seen Josh Jobe get back there. We've seen Spoon get back there. Nick Imawari has gotten back there as well. But what they did was just mix up where the pressure was coming from and who it was coming from, right? You got a nickel, a corner, and then you have a backer as well. You just got to keep these guys guessing. You got to show that you're bringing 6 or 7 to make this offensive line have to communicate. That's going to be the key. Can you confuse this offensive line? And then can you get to the quarterback quickly? Whoever is that free guy rushing, man, you got to win that matchup.
Second down. What do you feel is now the best part of JSN's game?
This was pretty cool. So I'm going through social media, and naturally I get a JSN sighting. And what it says is, okay, so there's a report to where, remember when Lenore tried to get in Jason's head and headbutted him, and someone asked him, why didn't you retaliate? And he goes, when you feel like you're on a different level, this is JSN, I'm not going to let something that's not on my level distract me from what's going on. Mental game is the best part of his game right now. We know the physical. He's going to make the catches. He's going to be a good blocker. He's going to get the yards after the catch. He's going to be dependable. But now his mind is such on a different level. No one is on his level in his mind, and that's the way he should play. Lenore isn't worth him getting angry about. So whatever DBs are going to try to do to mentally mess up Jason, it's just not working. When you go for over 1,700 yards, you lead the league in receiving. You had 10 touchdowns. You're had the single season best single season as a receiver franchise history. Yeah, you should be mentally on another level and realize that these guys are just peons to you.
Yeah.
So I appreciate JSN keeping us calm in that situation. I feel like it's going to benefit him moving forward.
That reminds me of in the press conference, the post-game press conference, when he was asked, hey, what did you make of Lenore's comments? And he said, I don't always have time to respond to every fan.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, the shade is impeccable. Third down. Who cannot have a good game against the Seahawks?
Kyren Williams cannot have a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, they ran the ball 31 times, I believe, against the Bears, 29 times the week before that. I don't think there hasn't been a commitment to the run. They just been throwing the ball a bit more. The Hawks allow 92 yards per game overall. That is second best in the NFL when it comes to rushing. 86 yards the last 3 games. You have to continue to be a stout rush defense. Probably the best rush defense in the game. I know Jacksonville is ahead of them, but the Hawks are right there. You just can't allow that to get going, because if Kyren Williams gets going, that run game gets going, and it's going to be harder to defend the pass. So just be who you've been all year and limit those runs. Guys are going to pick up chunk plays every now and then, but nothing too crazy.
What did you make of Aaron when I asked him, hey, I've been hearing a lot of people say that they should run more, going, why?
Yeah. I mean, he's right. He's like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
But as an offense, you still have to have that threat. So I understand why someone would do it. They're still going to rush the ball at least 25 times against the Seahawks. Got to keep them honest.
Well, speaking of Aaron Schatz, let's go to fourth down. We just got off the phone with him. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, he says McVay got away from 13 personnel usage a little bit, but he's doing things differently with 13 personnel. He's just aligning his tight ends wide. They look like receivers. I'm looking at him like, that's not a receiver. I got to count the tight ends. But he's right, because Devontae Adams is there. You want to get Devontae and Puka on the field at the same time. But I would assume that they're going to get back to 13 personnel. He also said the Seahawks were 16th against tight ends. Not good, because they have a good tight end group over here with the Rams. You got to make sure that you are pressing them off the line of scrimmage, giving them something to think about. He said Imawari is listed as a safety, and he's not a safety, which I can agree with. I've seen a line of at safety maybe a few times. But we used to call that guy like a rover. We gave him a special name, a rover, the star, or something like that. That is who he is. He's really not a safety. He's his own position. Put athlete next to his name. He also said offense is more predictive than defense, and I couldn't disagree more with this Seattle team. I think the defense is more predictive. I think that if I understand exactly what he's saying, that you know what you're going to get out of this defense. You know that they're going to stay in nickel 89 to 90% of the time. What you don't know about the offense is how they're going to hit you and who's going to be the guy. Obviously, Jason's going to try to get the football. Do you believe in the run game the last 3 games? Do you feel like you can stop that? I think with this defense, I can predict what the defense is going to do and how they're going to play more than I can with the offense.
I wonder if the nature of, with defense, you're reacting, or you just have to be in the mindset of reacting, that people naturally think, oh, well, then a great offense will dictate or limit what you can do.
Offense definitely dictates the game because of their personnel groups, what they come out in, so you got to match up. The thing with this defense is they just stay in nickel.
Yeah.
Like every now and then, I will throw a dime out there, but for the most part, all right, come out in 13, come out in 22, come out in 11, 10. We're just going to stay and run what we run.
You know what stuck with me? It's on the other side here, looking at the AFC, so it's not as relevant to Seattle fans this weekend. But it was when he was talking about the Broncos defense struggling a bit more as of late, and the Patriots defense actually then surpassing them with DVOA. Weeks 1 through 9, the Patriots and passing defense were 28th, and weeks 10 through present, they're 7th. And weeks 1 through 9, the Broncos, they're consistent, but they were 6th, and they've gone from 6th to 9th. And that's only against the pass, not the run, where New England has actually been better overall. But I thought that was interesting because the whole conversation we're having about Jarrett Stidham, well, Broncos defense is going to have to lift him up. Broncos defense will carry him there. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Broncos defense has not been playing as well as the Patriots defense. This feels like a losing battle no matter what, which you could have guessed with Jarrett Stidham starting. But the hope was that the defense would be elite and carry him. I thought that was sticking with me. I hadn't realized that they'd kind of flipped there.
Yeah, that's interesting. But you know what this defense is, Denver defense is capable of.
Yeah.
Right? They've been more potent more often than not. So, yeah, New England's been playing better.
Yeah.
But you know what defense what the Denver Broncos have over there.
All right, well, I never thought I'd see the day. I never thought that I would see or hear about this, but it's happened. That's next.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Take the next step to becoming a Seahawks season ticket holder. Join the season ticket holder notification list to secure your spot in line. By signing up, you'll be the first to know when space becomes available on the official Blue Pride waitlist. Plus, receive team news, special ticket offers, and more. Visit Seahawks.com/season tickets to sign up today.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about,
but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable. And I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
The impossible finally happened. It really happened. Paul Feinbaum gave credit to Indiana.
Wow.
And Curt Cignetti and the Big Ten.
Wow.
After the Hoosiers clinched a national title earlier this week. Cut 7. Here's what Paul said.
There can be debate on whether Indiana had the best season in college football history, but there can be no debate. It is the greatest story in the history of the game. And what made it even more amazing is how people misunderstood what Curt Cignetti was doing in Bloomington. But let me assure you, nobody was more incorrect in understanding that process than me. Almost everything I said throughout the season about him and about Indiana was wrong, and it was an epic failure on my part. There was no question Indiana was the best team, and yes, the Big Ten is the best conference in the country. We congratulate Coach Cignetti, Indiana, and the Big Ten for an extraordinary run.
You know, I know it was cold outside this morning, but I didn't realize hell had frozen over. The Big Ten is the best conference in the country. Did I just hear that from Paul Feinbaum?
Paul, I want to congratulate you in joining us in this world we call reality, because we've seen this throughout the year, yet you've stood by your SEC faithfuls and tried to uplift them as much as you can. My question is, who gave you the okay? This wasn't you. This was Nick Saban saying it's okay. This was any SEC commissioner
Paul,
of a
you have to
conference or
apologize.
saying, listen, Look, the show's over, okay? You can stop the act now because it is evident the Big Ten has won the conference the last 3 seasons. Indiana is 16-0, haven't seen that since, the 30s. Cignetti is the best coach in the country right now. He took 3 and 4 stars to the championship game and won. You didn't have to say it. We already knew it. You're just finally joining this place called reality and giving respect where respect is due. So thank you for doing it, but honestly, I didn't need you to do it because I knew this already.
Am I wrong in wondering if it's like a PR kind of thing?
Feels like it. He wrote it, and you tell he was reading.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't
it
from
felt
the heart.
prepared.
Yeah, this
he
wasn't
didn't mean
from the heart.
it.
Nah.
He didn't mean it.
He had to do it.
He was shaking. He wanted to say, Bama, roll Tide.
Because he's losing credibility. If he didn't come out and say something like this, and he stood by that SEC nonsense, you're losing credibility. For years, I even said SEC is the best conference in the game. We know that. So welcome to reality.
We briefly talked, next story here, about the 49ers looking into the electrical substation near Levi Stadium. In Cut 8, here's the audio of John Lynch's full answer at yesterday's press conference.
Because it deals with allegedly, the health and safety of our players, I think you have to look into everything. And so our guys have been. We've been reaching out to anyone and everyone to see, does a study exist, other than a guy sticking an apparatus underneath a fence and coming up with a number that I have no idea what that means. That's what we know exists. We've heard that debunked. So yes, we will look into it. We have. The health and safety of our players is of the utmost priority. We pour into it. Our ownership, Jed, tremendous in terms of resources, and we'll always be cognizant of things. I know that a lot of games have been won at this facility, since it opened, and so, but yeah, we aren't going to turn a blind eye. We'll look into everything.
Now, I know you and Curtis are still on.
Why are you
this.
so disappointed?
No, I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed, but I just would like to say that from Front Office Sports, another John Lynch mentioned that have been debunked. So the Washington Post is the feature that we already talked about in debunking this, but Front Office Sports also had a column. I hadn't read that one. They said that the person who posted this theory, the original thread, is not even like a doctor or anything. He took a Gauss meter, which measures the strength of magnetic fields, to the facility to just kind of get a reading. And I don't know, just based it off of that. I'm not saying he's not smart. I'm not saying, was he like a scientist? I don't know. But a radiology professor at UC Davis said there's no established evidence or firmly established evidence that backs it up. And then other experts that spoke to them said it's nonsense, wild, and, quote, not possible.
I mean, were the Wright brothers pilots?
Oh, my God.
No. No, they were not. But they had a vision. Yeah. They saw
exactly
something that no one else could see. And
planes flying.
And history, as we know, it was changed forever after that.
Okay, Curtis, I don't mean to take you down from this one. I don't know that this carries the weight of what the Wright brothers did, with just flight quite literally taking off. Would I be curious to find out if something's there? Sure. I just think we're talking about it like it's a fact instead of a question.
It is a hell of a coincidence that they got all that going on over there, and these dudes have been there. So you got to look into it. You can't ignore it.
Sure, you got to look into it.
I don't
it's science.
see
You have
any
to
other
explore
team
everything.
with a substation near their practice facility. You know
well,
why?
let's do some digging.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think big substation, you're falling for it, Stacy.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
No. That's what they want you to think, is that they have nothing to do with this. But they have everything to do with it.
Big substation. Enough. We're getting out of the conspiracy corner. We have more to get to. Let us out. Lynch and Kyle Shanahan were asked about one of the I feel like I was just in a dark room. Lynch and Kyle Shanahan also were asked about one of the most confusing stories of the NFL season. Brandon Ayuk, Cut 9. Here's John and Kyle.
Have you been able to determine why he was so upset, why he wasn't showing up, and just any background you can give on that?
I wish I knew. Can't help you there. Sorry. Yeah.
Has there been a line of communication with him?
There was, but not anymore.
At what point did that snap?
Say it officially stopped for me when the last time I tried to get a hold of him and couldn't. And then tried a couple more times and still couldn't. And then that matched everyone else that was trying to get a hold of him and couldn't. And eventually, there's not much of an explanation because it's really hard for us and anyone else to understand. And That's why it's something I've never seen in 22 years of coaching. So just, it's unfortunate. And it's confusing because it's confusing for all of us. So, but it eventually becomes it is what it is. And you try as hard as you can to fix something that you don't understand, but it's not like we understand it very well still.
I was in a screening of The Dark Knight in a movie theater, and I don't know if everyone remembers that movie, but there's a scene where I think Alfred has left, right? Or maybe that's the third one. There's a scene in the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy where Alfred has left. He's like, you're on your own. He's disappointed with Bruce Wayne. And for the first time in his life, Bruce Wayne doesn't have a butler, and someone's knocking at the front door, and Bruce wakes up, and he's realizing, like, oh, my butler isn't here to answer the front door. And in a full packed movie theater, one guy just goes, he gone. And the whole movie theater laughed. That's how I feel about Brandon Ayuk. He gone.
He gone.
He gone.
Yeah, and it was, that whole situation was weird too, man. He had just gotten paid, stopped showing up to practice. I don't know. It's I know just as much as they do. Absolutely nothing.
Next up, the Kraken beat the Islanders 4-1 last night, but are the days of Shane Wright in Seattle numbered? NHL insider David Pagnotta says he's very much on the trade block, cut 6.
The Seattle Kraken are open to moving Shane Wright. And I think with what they've been looking for previously, they've been looking for a top 6, a legitimate top 6 offensive threat, ideally somebody capable of playing on the top line. And the sense that I'm getting is a willingness to move and package up Shane Wright in order to get that. Same time, I don't get the sense that Shane Wright is overly thrilled with his usage lately. I think his last game, he played under 10 minutes. You know, he wants to have more responsibility. He wants to have more ice time. He has to earn that as well. I can't just be handed it to him. Yep. But there's a little bit of disappointment there with respect to his usage from his side of things, which is understandable. He wants to start taking next steps. But again, he's got to kind of earn that.
Curtis actually pointed this out. We were going to use it for a headline rewrite before the breaking news about John Schneider. He said, this is very much giving like a Jared Kelnick-esque career arc here in Seattle, where all the hype around this person, a high draft pick, Jared obviously not by Seattle, but a high draft pick, and we were like, oh my God, this is part of your future. This is so exciting. And just didn't work out. And there was throughout it a debate about whether, is he being used enough? Is he being used right? Is he getting enough time? Now suddenly he could be on the move. Why didn't this guy take off? It reminded him a lot of Jared.
I mean, you got to look at all the things that surround him too, right? The organization, several coaches already, the philosophy of the team. There could be a bunch of things affecting it, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the player's performance. If you're balling, you're going to get out there. I just watched Connor Bedard the other day. And this dude's 20 years old, was second year in the league, and he is tearing it up right now. So when you have, like, peers, guys who are drafted with you or around you who are doing things that you're not doing, you got to look in the mirror a bit, but maybe it's not an organizational fit either.
Coming up next, it's What I Need to Know. Get your questions in now, 866-979-3776.
We are finally just about set.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
Touchdown, Seahawks! A perfect pass by Darnold.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
These guys, they take it very seriously.
Seahawks, Rams, Sunday at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 3:30.
We're really having a hard time hearing thanks to the 12s.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
At Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com. At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know a little earlier today because Dave Wyman is joining us for the huddle next. 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. Can you please explain 12 and 13 personnel really well? Like, what's the difference? Wait. They said, you explain 12 and 13 personnel really well. Oh, but what is the difference between nickel and dime and also base defense?
Nickel means you have 5 DBs out there. Dime means you have 6 DBs out there. A base defense is typically what... So there's like 3-4 defense, 3 linemen, 4 linebackers. There's a 4-3 defense. So your base defense is your first personnel that's going to run out there. Typically, teams have like a 4-2, 4-3 defense or a 3-4 defense. With the Seahawks, they put 5 DBs out there as their base defense, and typically that's not the case when it comes to football. You have 4 DBs out there, then you mix up your D-line and your linebacker.
Right, so what the Seahawks are doing so well is successfully rushing 4 and getting a lot of pressures with 4 so then they can stay in nickel, stay in dime, and it just makes it hectic for a quarterback. 866-979-3776. If you were handed an envelope that had the exact score of Seahawks-Rams, would you open it up and look at it or actually wait and watch the game?
I look at it.
Me too. What are you talking about? No, I would absolutely look at it.
Gender reveal's not for me. I need to know. I'm not waiting.
Oh, you mean like just tell me if it's a boy or girl right now? Like I want to know right away. Yes, I would want to know. Are you someone who likes spoilers?
Love spoilers.
Me too.
Tell me what's going to happen.
Yeah, I just want to know. If I start watching a movie and I'm like, I can't tell if I commit yet, I'll look up the Wikipedia page, look up the end of the movie. That's what I want to do with this game. I'd like to know today who wins.
To know today.
Like this moment. What I need to know. In your opinion, which Seahawks player overperformed this year and who underperformed?
Overperformance, I would probably say Nicky Mawari. I think he'd be like a defensive player of the year type dude. Underperform.
That's tough. I mean, you're a number 1 seed.
I don't see anyone underperform this year.
Yeah.
Honestly.
If you were someone who thought Cooper Kupp would get 1,000 yards, then I guess he did. But, I mean, as Bumps pointed out, he's been excellent with blocking. Like, he's doing things that are pretty underrated.
He's having the season I thought he would have.
Yeah.
Honestly.
What I need to know. I just saw that both conference championships head coaches have the same first name, Mike versus Sean. What combo would you like to see in the Super Bowl? The battle of the Mikes, the Seans, or Mike versus Sean? Well, we definitely don't want to see the battle of the Seans.
Yeah. No, it'd be I want to see battle of the Mikes because my white son is in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. A lot of whites.
A lot of whites.
And the Patriots. Including your white son. What I need to know. I'm filtering through. What I need to know is, do you think maybe there's a world where the run game is even better because Walker gets most of the carries? I always thought he was the better back.
I think that's a possibility. I wouldn't say better, but more explosive. I mean, Charbonnet was your inside the 20s type of guy, great at that, running hard. But I think that K9's capable of having the bigger game out of the two.
What I need to know, how can Rashid Shaheed be the difference in the game beyond returns?
Deep post. I think that if the Rams do what I think they're going to do, which is commit a safety to drop down when JSN does run those crossing routes, those digs, those in-breaking routes, that will allow Rashid Shaheed to have one-on-one with safeties over the top.
What I need to know, when ordering Thai food, a non-sports question, how many stars? Let's say out of 5.
I can do 4 or 5.
Or 5?
Yeah.
I usually do 3 or 4. Wow.
Yeah, I'm with Stacy.
Yeah. I like a little bit of a kick, but I don't want to drink too much water when I don't want to feel like, oh, do I want to finish this?
Yeah. No, I like a little kick.
A little kick. What I need to know. Let me get through. My dad. No, this is about Brandon Ayuk. More conspiracy corner for you. Why are both championship coach matchups Sean and Mike? I don't know.
It's the way the universe spun.
Oh, God. Curtis, you better not have a response to this one. That's the conspiracy corner sound.
Well, I mean, when you look at popular baby names of people the ages of those coaches, I imagine Sean and Mike were very popular back then.
Oh my God. Okay, so I forget what we were doing yesterday. It was when I said there are too many Michaels, and then I looked up the most common male name, baby name in the United States. Michael is like 2 or 3. It's the most common male name in the state of Washington.
Wow.
In the United States,
So special.
I will give you guys 2 guesses apiece to guess the most common baby name in the United
For men?
States. I was
Males?
shocked because I don't know a
For
bunch.
males?
For males. Yeah. I don't think you're going to guess it.
John.
No.
Muhammad.
No, but I appreciate that approach.
Is it Matthew?
No. You get one more.
Robert.
You don't get any.
Is Robert?
No. It's James.
Really?
Okay.
James.
Apparently, it was the most common name in most Southeast states.
Really?
And in the Midwest, it was David. And where in the Pacific Northwest, East Coast, it was Michael. Yeah. I wouldn't have guessed James. I would have thought,
me
yeah,
neither.
maybe 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I have one person I know who had a baby they named James.
I know a James. See how many James I have on my phone right now.
Let's see. What I need to know. Back to it. Bump, call the...
I have 4 James in my phone right now, by the way.
Well, I mean, I know in theory James.
I'm just curious. Which ones know how many James? I do.
Do I know any James my age? I don't think I do. Somewhere there's a James listening or a Jim listening who's like, how dare you guys? You're erasing my history. Someone just texted in and said, I'm Michael. What I need to know, is there anything that could happen in this game to make you think this season was a failure?
No. They've exceeded my expectations. I mean, I'd be disappointed if they just got stomped, but I didn't expect them to be in the conference championship game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of like how in the American League championship when Cal said, you know, this season's kind of a failure because we didn't get it done. And I'm like, well, I never thought you guys would be 8 ounces away from getting to a World Series. I don't think it's a failure. I think we tend to think like, if you don't win a Super Bowl, it's a failure. But organizations are at different places.
They're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, like did the Jags have a failure of a season because they didn't make a Super Bowl? No. Their head coach is up for Coach of the Year. Trevor Lawrence is nominated for MVP. This was a massive step forward for them. Same with the Patriots. If they get knocked out, it's like, well, you had 4 wins a year ago. Seattle wasn't in that place, but they also weren't in the playoffs. You went from out of the playoffs to the #1 seed hosting the conference championship game. Not a failure, but I think you can get it done, so do it. In fact, we are going to preview this Sunday's game for the next 2 hours. Dave Wyman is going to join us. We're going to be joined by a couple Seahawks, including Coby Bryant and Jake Bobo. Hear from some of your favorite Seahawks voices, including Steve Raible and Ray Roberts and John Boyle, and have an opponent preview to understand a bit more about the Rams. It's all coming your way next.
Brock and Salk.
The defense was just so good.
Morning 6 to 10.
236 total yards. Honestly, if you had asked me after the game without looking how many yards did they give up, I would have said like 136.
Kyle Shanahan has coached 163 games and is a 49er head coach. He's been held under 7 points just 4 times in those 163 games, and 2 of them have been in the last 3 weeks to your Seattle Seahawks.
Amazing.
Only on Seattle Sports.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple 1-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. $41.85. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and people all over the Northwest are going to be dropping 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 pounds by opening day. They'll do it by starting Eastside Weight Loss Clinic as their big resolution, and you can too. A 15-minute phone call is all it takes to get started. 15 minutes. You're probably going to sit that long in traffic today, so take that time and instead do something for yourself. I did this program. I immediately lost 10 pounds in the first week, about 35 pounds after just 8 weeks. And here's what I didn't have to do. Fight for space in the crowded gym with all the other New Year's resolutioners. No pills, no injections, no fake bland box meals. No, just real food that you buy at the grocery store, delicious recipes, and a group to offer support, coaching, and accountability. An easy plan to follow that really does work. So why not do it for yourself this year? Call Eastside Weight Loss Clinic at 425-588-0080 or go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. This is The Huddle.
The handoff inside. It's Sherman. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Exclusively on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app with hosts Michael Bumpus, Stacy Rost, and Dave Weiner. Time to go inside The Huddle.
Well, if it isn't these 2 teams, the Seahawks and Rams, meeting again in the conference championship game. I mean, you could have predicted this, I guess, in week 11 when they were meeting for the first time, and clearly the 2 best teams in the league. and they still very much look like it. Now, we have 2 hours to get you hyped up for this game and preview the game, but why don't you let Mike Macdonald help you? Have you guys heard the hype video?
Mm-hmm.
Take a listen.
All right, we got everybody. Man, this is pretty awesome, huh, guys? This is awesome. We got a hell of a program ready for you guys. One of the things I want you guys to feel going through this program is that we have a vision for you and this football team.
Here we go, fastball!
But today, all right, I'm going to take you here now, so stay with me. I want us to just take a minute here and fast forward to January NFC Championship. It's 30-something degrees. All right, it's wet, it's windy. All right, for them, okay, but it's just right for us. We're loose, we're focused, all right, we're confident. We just spent the last 9 months stacking every opportunity that we had to put us in that position.
I got one question. Do y'all feel it? This is what we send the message. No, that we the best in the world.
Team across from us in the other locker room, okay, they've seen the tape. They know what they're in for. 11 guys playing as one, every snap. They know that we're like that.
Fire to the end zone. Ball is caught.
They know that they're facing a bunch of men that won't give up. They know they'll face a team that won't die and won't quit. They know. It's inevitable. So let's go to work.
And they've gone to work, and here they are as the #1 seed. Bump, I know that you like that because we're like that.
We like that.
Ready to run through a wall. Wyman, I'll start with you. Mike Macdonald, in that hype video, that was his first meeting as a head coach, talked about when they come here, they'll know the team they're facing. Now, he talks about not giving up and all those great things, but what kind of team right now are the Rams coming here to face?
Yeah, how was he able to predict the weather?
Right?
I mean, it looks like it's going to be wet.
January in Seattle.
It was pretty good. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Odds are.
Yeah, this is one of the better matchups I can remember. If you look at the 2 games prior, I mean, it was just the last one so uncharacteristic. They put up 581 yards on our defense.
Yep.
This defense, I mean, it was, and then the first one they put up I think 250, but they got the ball on our side of the 50-yard line for 4 times. So yeah, I mean, it's just it's going to come down to it. I feel like, but I mean, there are some people that are saying it's going to be like the Niners and it's going to crack open like an egg and it's going to be one of those. But I don't see that, man. This is 2 really evenly matched teams, and if you just look at the last 2 meetings by these teams, it doesn't make sense. Basically, you know, the score and, the things that were done in both games.
2 points and a yard separating these 2 teams in terms of what they've accrued over 2 contests. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be like the Niners. It doesn't mean I don't think the Seahawks can or will win. Bump, what's going to be a key for this matchup?
Stop Puka Nacua. He cannot go crazy like he did the last time. 300 yards in 2 games this guy has. I know you have Devontae. You got some good tight ends over there. Kyron Williams is a more than capable running back to get things going. But if Kuka starts flexing on us, things are going downhill quickly. So, yeah, that's objective number 1 is do that and get pressure on your quarterback. No sacks the last 2 games the Hawks have played against these guys. But my main focus is making life hectic for Puka. He likes to operate from the slot. They're going to motion him and move him around, try to get some favorable matchups. Have a plan for it. And what I like about this is that you've seen the Rams 2 times. Mike McDonald's a smart dude. He said he gave his team too much on that Thursday night. Mm-hmm. 3rd time's a charm. He's going to have a steady, solid game plan.
The Seahawks defense ranks better than the Rams this year across the board. Points allowed per game, they actually finished ranked better than Houston, better than everyone else. That was in the regular season. I would imagine it stays because they only allowed 6 from San Francisco. But, Dave, you're right. And that the Rams finished with 500-plus yards. Yeah. And it was one of the 2 worst performances Seattle had, the other being a loss to the Bucs. This one at least a win, but what needs to change? What needs to happen differently? What's Mike Macdonald maybe telling his defense ahead of this one?
I think it's all about getting pressure on Matthew Stafford. I just remember during that last game, my eyes were just telling me, and then, you look in the playoffs, the stats bear it out that he was like the lowest ranked quarterback. He had like a 24 rating or something when pressured. And, it was just weird watching him. Like he was trying to just dirt the ball and get away. And I thought early, like he gave up early when he got pressured. And so, yeah, I think that's it. And we heard from Leonard Williams yesterday that they'd like to just beat their offensive lineman. You got to beat them quick. And he was talking about stunts and how it kind of takes time to get home if you have to run stunts. Maybe they blitz. Maybe they bring 5. But to me, the whole thing is getting pressure on that guy. You mentioned Puka Nacua too. I mean, there was a play, I think it was in the fourth quarter. It might have been overtime where it was man-to-man coverage on Spoon on Nacua, and he beat him. And that's something you just don't see. You don't see that from, I'll put Spoon up against anyone one-on-one, and he beat him fair and square. He beat Josh Jobe on a little stop route. It wasn't a long gain or anything, but it was like he was the stronger player at that point. So, yeah, pretty amazing. 177th pick of the draft back in 2023.
Unreal.
And, yeah, it was and, there were rumors that John Schneider really wanted that guy, but that was, I think something that, maybe just got said.
Schneider always was the good ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to talk about the offense, Seattle's offense, because it's the one thing I think is being both Sam Darnold's the reason that analysts across the country are a little hesitant to bet on Seattle, and yet this offense has been a little better than they've gotten credit for, Bump. I mean, when I look at the Rams, they were number 1 in total offense for the season, number 1 in the pass. Matthew Stafford, an MVP frontrunner, number 1 in points per game. But, I mean, Seattle's 3. I know that, Sam Darnold's best game was like against Washington, and that you saw the offense, the passing offense, cool a little bit after JSN got off to such a hot start. But I feel like the way the offense is being looked at is as a non-impactful thing unless they make a mistake, rather than something that could help drive this team to a win.
I think teams are looking at this offense as like this not very explosive. And I think because Sam Darnold has slowed down a little bit in the second half as far as explosive throws and plays, so is JSN a little bit. They tend to think, all right, well, this offense isn't capable, but I think that this offense has just matured a bit. Now you don't have to depend on Sam Darnold hitting JSN for a 60, 50-yard every game. You can run the football 30, 35 times and slow this game down and make the easier throws, underneath throws, and put together 8, 9, 10, 11-play drives. I think people are so just in love with the fireworks and the bombs down the field that you lose appreciation for a offense that just marched down the field and is efficient on third downs and efficient on first downs and gets a tight end involved here, gets another receiver involved there. I think it's the maturation of the offense. I think the explosive offense was young. It was fun. The knees didn't hurt. And then you get old. And your knees start to hurt a bit. Your back starts to hurt. It's very personal. It's very personal.
I can see your Skechers.
You start to do different things to get yourself going. That's the way I see it. And I can appreciate it because they're high percentage plays. Like throwing the football down the field 60 yards is not a high percentage play.
Yeah.
And I like where they're at.
All right, well, Wyman, what's Sam's job on Sunday?
Take care of the ball. I mean, that's obvious, I think, and that's the case for every quarterback. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he needs to be spectacular. But you know what? That throw he made to JSN in the corner was spectacular, and that was kind of a flashback to the first 9 games. Was it week 9 when we played the Commanders, where he was making all of those tight window throws, and so he can make that throw if he has to. So, and if it's there now, that wasn't like a long bomb or anything. But if you look at Moyer sent me a video, and he's like, look at where JSN is when he releases that ball. It's amazing what he's able to do. He can be a pinpoint passer if he needs to be. So, but yeah, I mean, I think the obvious answer is that Sam needs to take care of the ball, and not just him. K9 as well.
Yeah, not a bomb, but certainly a dart.
Yeah.
Dart was good enough there for 4 and 7. All right, we have some player guests joining us. Coby Bryant is going to hop on first, and then we're going to hear from Jake Bobo. Then you're going to hear from the head coach as part of his press conference. Some of our favorite voices joining us in hour 2. This is The Huddle.
Blue 88 every morning at 7:45. Brock Eward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
How do you get to Matt Stafford, Brock?
2 years they have not gotten to him. 2 years, 0 sacks. And a lot of that is Matt Stafford's doing. He just gets rid of the ball. It's really difficult. If he's like Peyton Manning was back in the day, they got to get him the ground Sunday. They've got to find a way. I don't care what it is, through hell or high water. Get that man on the ground.
Catch every Blue 88 on the Seattle Sports app.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
All teed up.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game. Sunday kickoff at 3:30. Only on Seattle Sports.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Esta canción que canto, amigos,
Experience the iconic Mexican music group Bronco at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, February 28th at 8 p.m. They've sold more than 20 million albums and performed for audiences all over the world. Now Bronco is bringing their modern take on regional Mexican sound live to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Tickets are on sale now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Back to the huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Seahawks getting ready for a showdown number 3 against the Rams. We've seen 2 different versions of this defense, 2 different versions of wins. In both games, the team that outgained the other lost. And I hear a lot of confidence from Rams fans. Understandably, their team is spectacular, but I hear a lot of confidence from Rams fans heading into this one because of what happened in Week 16. Kind of overlooking that in Week 11, Seattle was a couple feet. I like the way Ray Roberts says it. You were 3 feet away from sweeping them, but you were a couple yards away from being able to make that game-winning field goal despite throwing 4 interceptions. I mean, Seattle outgained the Rams almost across the board. These are teams that have really given each other headaches, and both wins were kind of, I don't think it was lucky per se, but could have gone the other way for either team.
The first game was the what-if game because there was a touchdown by K9 that got called back because of a holding penalty. There was, I don't know, Bump, how much more air did Sam have to put under that ball to Shaheed? I mean, it was just barely tipped away. It looked like maybe 2 or 3 inches more. And then the best punt I've ever seen in my life.
I forgot about that.
Going out of bounds, not hitting. They probably missed the pylon by like 3 inches, 4 inches. So that gives you 20 yards. I mean, there are so many things in that
that are just luck
in that game that just bounced the Rams' way. And then
same way they feel about that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't. The backwards one, right? Yeah, and I heard somebody the other day call it controversial, and I'm like, I thought we put that one to bed. Yeah. I think it was Terry McCauley came out and said, absolutely wrong. I'm not a Seahawk fan. I don't care about your team. This ball went backwards. The whistle doesn't matter. So, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that people are still keeping that one alive.
But then it's irrelevant if they hit a field goal late, right? Like, it was not something that ended the game and gave Seattle a win.
They missed a field goal after that.
Excuse me, they missed a field goal after that, and then Seattle drove down the field to score. So, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, well, I don't know. I kind of think a missed field goal hurt Seattle after the first one, and it hurt you after this one.
Yeah.
So it's super, super tight, and I think a lot of people feel like this is the Super Bowl. We are seeing the 2 best teams in the league that no matter what happens, the second best or one of the best teams in the league is not going to advance. Let's hope, though, that the one that does is the Seattle Seahawks. Coby Bryant joining us right now to help us preview this game. Coby, when we were joined by Chenna last week, we asked him, hey, how do you feel facing the 49ers again? He was like, we were excited. We were looking forward to it. When we found out it would be San Francisco, we couldn't wait. We hate these guys. Yeah. How did you feel when you found out it would be the Rams?
Obviously, I was excited, too, just to be able to have this opportunity to play against those guys and, go out and execute.
Tell us about Puka Nacua and how much, I'm assuming what we used to have extra meeting guy, he's one of those guys that is special. What makes him so good?
Yeah, definitely. Just, him catching the ball, the yards after he catches the ball as well, too. He's just a dominant receiver, so we definitely respect him. For sure.
We've seen, I just like watching y'all confidence grow, like, all throughout the year. And right now it seems like it's just at an all-time high. Why do you numbers don't lie, record don't lie, but why do you guys internally feel this way with stepping into each game?
Just like you said, it's like the confidence, man. Each and every week we go out, believe in our technique, believe in our coaching, and go out and dominate.
Is there, speaking of dominating, someone on this defense that, you feel like, man, even he doesn't get enough credit? Like, every single person out there is a baller. We all know that, like, Leonard Williams is a baller. We all know Ernest Jones is going to get his due. But is there someone out there, a teammate, where you're like, man, this guy's spectacular and just doesn't get the credit?
I can't think of one person, like you said. We're
the
all
whole
ballers,
group.
honestly. Yeah. So I feel like the whole defense, honestly.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll go with Byron Murphy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Murphy.
I felt like he got screwed as far as the Pro Bowl and all that. You look at that guy and what he does, man. That's incredible. Is there somebody that you look at on film? I guess I'm thinking Spoon, but somebody that is just, we interviewed him yesterday. He interviews fast too. He's constantly going. I feel like at the end of the day, he must just like shut down and go to sleep. And
That's who he is all throughout the day. That's who he is, yeah.
But I mean, when you watch that guy playing, I mean, I think it's kind of like peer pressure. It's like, hey, I better run as fast as this guy,
Right.
and it just seems like that's something that he brings.
Yeah, most definitely. Just me coming back last week, I definitely told myself like I gotta try to play faster than Spoon. You know,
Yeah.
it's challenging for sure, but you know he brings the best out of all of us for sure.
You got a while to go until you're done. But when I was done playing, you just search for that adrenaline rush that you get playing ball. There's nothing like it, right? And for some reason, I was supposed to sit in the press box, but something told me to go to the booth where Wyman is because the windows are open and you can hear the crowd and stuff.
Right.
And Dude's taking that thing to the house very first play. That was the hypest I've been since I got done playing. I can imagine what that was like for y'all on the sideline.
It was exciting, man, just to see him do that first play of the game. I don't think I've ever been a part of something like that, so it was exciting. I had to like calm back down, you know, and rethink because we had to go back out there too. So it was exciting.
Could you feel the ground shake? Tom Brady on the call was saying like, "This is the loudest I've heard anything."
Yeah, I think I did. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I said, it was just so crazy during the time. Like I'm just experiencing everything at that point. So
yeah.
What are some of the like? I mean, you can't if you're standing right next to somebody, you can't hear them, right? Down when it's that loud. You guys got a pretty, I would think, extensive, you know, hand signals and things like that. But also, you know, how much of it is that this team is so connected? That's the thing we hear about Mike Macdonald, that he, you know, gets you guys together so you know the punter and the offensive lineman, and it just seems like everybody is connected. How much does that help?
It helps a lot. Everybody being on the same page. Just like you said, the hand signals and just knowing what to expect when we go out there. And we definitely appreciate the crowd for sure.
There's this video going around of Mike Macdonald's first meeting with you guys in 2024 talking about, like, imagine it's January, it's conference championship game, and it's crazy to see you guys here and really live what he was talking about in 2024. What is it about the process to get here that highlights who Mike Macdonald is as a head coach?
Just trusting in his plan from day one. We knew that, you know, it wasn't going to happen overnight. You know, just keep building each and every year. We still have a lot of more work to put in, honestly, and we're not done yet. So.
You guys have this really interesting distinction. You finished as the best scoring defense in the league. And I think the vast majority of people think the best defense in the league. But you have this really interesting kind of series against Matthew Stafford where you both have like one of his worst games of the season and then one of his best, at least passing yards, right? You guys won, shut down fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We remember that. But I guess I'm trying to ask, without you putting yourself in a bad spot, if there are things that you guys are working on, maybe specifically coming from that game. Because most of what I hear when it comes to fears are like, what about Matthew Stafford in that second game? And it's like, well, he also shut him down the first time. So is it revisiting week 11? Is it trying to tweak things from week 16?
I mean, ultimately just being ourselves, just going out there, playing our ball, not doing anything that we haven't done all year. And, you know, we'll get the job done.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anything this year that you have developed? You know, you were drafted in 2022, but like every year, do you learn something new? And what did you learn this year coming into the season and, you know, that you're putting to work out there?
Well, honestly, this is my first, like, true year coming in being, like, a full-time starter. So that was, like, something that I was excited about. And just knowing that safety's my position, too, because, you know, getting drafted as a corner, playing nickel, and playing all those positions was definitely difficult. But just being a safety, communicating, and ultimately being a leader, too.
What do you like most about playing safety?
Just getting the ball, honestly. It's exciting. You know, I feel like at corner you can get the ball kind of, but safety you just see a lot more and able to, you know, showcase my
freelance a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll let you call your shot with this one, and you can say yourself.
Yeah.
But if one of you guys are to get the ball, maybe get a nice little pick of Matthew Stafford. Who feels in your mind your candidate to be like, I think this guy will come down with the pick. You can also name yourself.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was going to go myself.
See, that's I should know. It's a player mentality.
Yeah,
it's like,
for
well,
sure,
me,
for sure.
first of all.
Yeah, I have to. It's long overdue, so.
Well, last year you had the pick, and then like it wasn't like it was the moment was too big because you were able to do the Marshawn Lynch as you crossed the goal line.
Yeah, for sure. That was exciting. That was a moment I'll never forget, too. I'm not doing it again, though. So.
Well, now we need you to do that so that I can replay that cut over and over. It's just a nice little thing for me here. So
sure.
if you could do that, that'd be fantastic.
I got you.
Great, thank you. He is Coby Bryant, kind enough to join us. Thank you,
Thanks,
Coby.
Coby.
Jake Bobo joining us next.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan for service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
Holy catfish!
Sunday, kickoff at 3:30.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Back to the huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Guys, let's talk about the Seahawks offense against the Rams. We already know they're going to be without Charbonnet. Bump, I'll start with you. You still feel great, not just about Walker, but you have liked what you've seen from him over the last 4 weeks, and there's a couple things you've noticed.
Yeah, I like where K9 is. He's the dance between him and the offensive line is looking real good. It's like dancing with the stars in the final rounds. You know, all the stars are out. The guys with no rhythm are gone. Now the coordination is there.
Yep.
That's what I see. He's Emmitt Smith and Dance with the Stars right now. And he just understands when to cut back and how to give the run a chance at this point and being okay with 3 to 4 yards. I was telling my son, Dave, he was like, man, Charbonnet, we need a big one. I go, all right, so the football god said, I'll give you 4 yards every down. Are you going to take it? He goes, no, I want big ones. I go, well, do the math, son. 4 yards every down. You're never going to see a fourth down. You're going to get a first down. And it kind of changed the way he was thinking. He goes, okay, I go, well, look at runs like that. Get 4 yards, 3 to 4 yards every down. Eventually the big one's going to go, but you're setting yourself up for second and third down. And that's what I see from K9 right now. He understands that. He's falling forward and not always looking for the big one.
Some of the runs in the middle of the line, and remember, he had the carry for 17 yards that started off with people booing because it was 3rd and 16. And and then down in San Francisco, the last game of the year, he was just, and really, I mean, the blocking has gotten way better. I mean, Sundell has looked fantastic, and but just his ability to kind of weave in between in the middle of the line. You got like this that takes some stones to run, full speed up into the box where there's just a bunch of fire-breathing dragons trying to kill you, and that's the thing about. But I really am. I'm really disappointed that Charbonnet's not going to be able to play just because it's been such a good 1-2. But I'm like, with K9, if we can just you just got 2 more games and you got a bye week coming up. So if you can just get through these 2 healthy, I think, the way he's been running lately is different.
Who not named Ken Walker and not named JSN, I'm taking him off the table, can make an impact in this one? Or do you think he poses potentially a real opportunity?
I'd say A.J. Barner.
Yep.
Barner is, he had that post corner against the Rams where he shook the guy to the ground and basically, stretched out and caught just a beautiful pass. So, yeah, I'm going to go with A.J. No, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go with Jake Bobo.
Jake Bobo.
Let's go Jake Bobo.
There it is. Jake Bobo, great answer. Jake Bobo joining us right now in this one. I'm going to ask you a similar question that we just asked your teammate, Coby Bryant. We know that with the 49ers, there was a clear rivalry. A couple particularly defensive players happy to see San Francisco. Great. Yeah. The Rams are a very, very good team. I think that you guys can get this done. But I'm wondering how you guys felt when you saw them sink a field goal and advance past the Bears. I mean, what was your thought to we're playing another team a third time?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's some there's familiarity there, which makes things both easier and harder, I think, when the defense knows your scheme real well. Obviously, we know what they want to do on defense. So schematically, it kind of can go both ways. I don't it was weird. Mike said this, watching that game in Chicago on Sunday or whenever it was, and almost you wanted kind of the Rams to win so you could see them again. You want Chicago to win. You're rooting for a team that you don't like.
No matter what.
Odd.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm happy to see him again. I think it'll be a great game. Obviously a challenge for us all over the field. So, yeah, I was happy about it.
We're just talking about K9 and the run game and everything. You guys, receivers, have been so instrumental in that, man. You must take a lot of pride in that, because I always, you look at, a lot of receivers are in mismatch type of blocking situations, and it's just all about 1-2, man. You guys are getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome kind of how our room has developed over the course of the year, obviously led by Coop up top and some of the stuff he does in the run game. So he kind of just sets the tone by example, to be honest with you. We saw what he did in camp, and so it was kind of like, all right, if our top dog, him and Jax sticks his head in there sometimes. So to see Coop do that in camp, I think kind of set the tone for the rest of the year. Like, this is who we're going to be as a room. Obviously, you want to get your hands on the ball and catch passes, but we knew in Kubiak, as soon as he came in, Clint stressed the importance of the receivers in the run game. So with this group, it's easy to buy into that. A bunch of great dudes in the room. Just want to win ball games, and that showed on the tape.
It seems like you guys just you love helping out your teammates.
Just love ball.
I mean, you gotta,
Love
and
ball.
especially when you're making a play, so someone else can make a play.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a.
Yeah.
Seems like the culture is you guys take a lot of pride in that.
100%.
Lunch pail guy.
One of the things I love about football, it's start and stop. Like basketball, it flows. Hockey, it flows. Like there's real situational stuff. And 3rd and 10, you're in the huddle. You get the play call. You line up. You see the defense. Were you thinking? I mean, obviously you run every route to get open and to make the play. But what was the situation? Did you feel like, all right, this ball is probably going to come to me, or are you just running your route to get open?
Yeah, just run to get open. I mean, Sammy's kind of got a choice, I think, on that one. Double slants to go pick either side. And, I was lucky to get a win versus press and happy to look my way. So, I mean, it wasn't necessarily like, oh, I'm the first read here. Like, oh, we got to win. You're trying to win matchups, whenever you're the 4th read, 1st read, whatever. Was happy to get open, happy to catch the ball and contribute.
Big play.
I appreciate it.
Speaking of big plays, Shahid with a 95-yard kickoff return. I know you do special teams work, so this isn't as funny, but is part of you like, wow, that's cool, and another part like, how dare you?
How dare
you
score?
I think offense could have hit the field here. Stop it. Their 10-yard line,
Yeah,
let me get a shot.
Yes, no, to answer your question.
I figured.
No, man, to see him, I feel like at this point the offense is almost like, all right, if he doesn't put it in here, we'll be surprised. If he doesn't give us good starting field position, we'll be surprised. So that's how we like it on the kickoff return unit. Put the pressure on us.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a kicker try to slide tackle?
Actually,
that was crazy to me.
In my at UCLA my senior year, we played Washington, and our kick returner broke one, and the kicker was successful in a slide tackle trip, and we got a 15-yard penalty. So I have seen that before.
Yeah. After that happened, I said, I'm going to start making fun of kickers again.
No, see, I got them to such a good place, Jake.
You're not part of it, Jake. You're not part of it. Yeah, the special teams, man. I mean, I don't see a better special team unit around the league. I mean, you guys have done it. I mean, tell us about Jay Harbaugh and how he's just made it
schematically.
It's like it's cool to be on special teams.
Well, and it's cool to be put in position where you're going to be successful. So we had that thing, schemed up to a T. And he knows, like, dude, if they're going to play it like this, we're going to go here. If they're going to do this, we're going to go here. And I've never really been around a special teams coach that has the game plan dialed up. Yeah. Usually it's let's not lose the game.
Right.
Like, let's just, do our job, make our plays, get the offense, defense, whatever field position. And he attacks that thing like a hunter, dude. He's hunting scheme. He's hunting what they're doing. And it's been really cool to be a part of.
I would imagine the install for like kick return is different now, because you played when it was just line them up, run down, wrap around, get R2. It's a bit more complicated, I would assume.
Yes, dude.
We've
got so many different schemes, whatever unit it is, kickoff, return. And so you come in on Tuesday and you're like, damn, dude, like we've got 10 kickoff return schemes dialed up here. And then on Sunday or Saturday night, whatever it was, you pop one and you're like, all right, yeah, Jay knows what he's doing. Yep. Okay, good deal.
Do you feel like that investment here is so sincere? I mean, I'm not putting you in the spot to say anything bad about the Rams, but I think the Seahawks have the most cap invested in special teams of any team, and the Rams the least. So I think when coaches here say, no, we care about special teams, it's a really important phase, they mean it. Yeah. 3 phases. Like, we invest there, and they back it up with money, and Schneider 100%. Backs it up with contracts. Do you feel that in the building and with the preparation and with the chemistry?
Yes and no. I mean, because we've got a bunch of guys on teams that are also contributors on
right.
offense and defense. So, I don't know. I mean, the Rams are doing just fine, going with their style. It seems like, I don't know. It's just kind of the style of ball we play, and we definitely take pride in it, for sure.
You may not want to divulge this, but what was number 2, Numbnuts, saying out on the field there?
Oh, dude, no. He's a yapper for sure.
Oh, my God.
Listen, good player. Got to give him his flowers. He's a good player, but
I thought you did a good job of restraining yourself.
I appreciate it. If I'd have known what
because I was sitting there
to Jax earlier in the game.
Oh,
man, dude, I
saw that.
That's atrocious.
Yeah, I was sitting there going, punch him. Come on, Jake, punch him.
Maybe Wyman can get a non-radio friendly answer off air.
Yeah,
we're going to hear from the head coach coming up next.
We are finally just about set.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
Touchdown, Seahawks! A perfect pass by Darnold.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
These guys, they take it very seriously.
Seahawks, Rams, Sunday at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 3:30.
I'm really having a hard time hearing thanks to the 12s.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salkier, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss. It's a new year and a perfect time to make the changes you've been dreaming of. Don't let those old habits and frustrations hold you back any longer. Our proven program gives you dedicated health coaches, ongoing support, real accountability, and a step-by-step detailed plan to help you lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a couple months with no drugs, shots, exercise, or fake food. Imagine more energy, better health, losing fat, fitting perfectly into your favorite clothes, and being down 20 or more pounds by March. Remove the stress of trying to do this on your own and book your free consultation at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Yeah, how's that resolution coming along? If you're sick at crowded gyms or already losing motivation, don't beat yourself up. Give the people at Eastside Weight Loss Clinic a 15-minute call and see how they can help. They helped me lose 35 pounds in 8 weeks.
Join the 4,000 clients who we've helped lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days. Our remote programs allow you to lose weight from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This is The Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2.
On Seattle Sports.
Right now, Mike Macdonald speaking with the reporters at Seahawks headquarters. Let's take a listen.
I'm sure you got a lot of great injury questions. Go ahead.
How's Charles Cross doing?
Yeah, Charles is good. We'll see how today goes, but we're optimistic for the game. But just working through his foot. So.
And how did Sam look yesterday?
Good. I mean, in terms of the plan, we're still on the plan. So I wasn't part of the offensive walkthrough just now, but they said it went really well, and he's feeling good.
Does he need to throw? Is there like a picture he needs to have his arm in shape at this point?
I'm not sure if that. I don't know if I know the right answer to that. I mean, if he feels better than he did going into the game, and he showed that he could throw then. So you'd like him to get some throws before Sunday.
What's going on with Amari Kite?
Yeah, Amari. Let's see here. What was it again? It's knee or ankle. Yeah, just knee from the game, but it's not. I mean, kind of go day by day right now on how it's going. Him and Josh, for that matter. It's just how it goes going into Sunday.
So they're on. You said it was like day to day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If they're unable to go for some reason, is Logan next? Do you start looking at Gray at left tackle at all? How did that work?
We have a plan for it. I don't really want to say what we do, but we have a plan for it.
When you look at you mentioned yesterday, like explosives are how you get all the points that the Rams had in the last game.
Yeah.
When you look at, I think it was like 10 or something. Was there any theme there of how they got all those that you noticed?
Well, let me clarify. It's not like exclusive to that game. I mean, that's kind of the normal recipe for not playing very good defense is giving up explosive plays. So, yeah, they did some good things where, I mean, Stafford made some great throws, and you gotta we can play them better, I mean, and in the run game, I felt like it's probably more leaky yardages than explosives. Like they had some explosive runs in the first game, and then there's just things we need to be better aware of and be in better position to play those plays without kind of getting into all the details. But better execution by us will help, and then better plan by us, and let's go play ball.
Mike, Coby back in the lineup for you last week. What did you kind of think of his game stepping in there after the time he was out?
Yeah, well, it didn't feel like he had been out in terms of how sharp he played, so he's doing a great job. He's playing fast, got energy, affected the ball, takes some great shots at the ball, so it's great to have him back.
You talked about Jackson and how his demeanor doesn't really change, even if it's a game where he's not making a bunch of catches or getting the stats, whatever. How do you see that? I mean, is it just literally his demeanor doesn't change, or like the way you see his effort on the field and things like that?
I think that's who he is, which is probably easy for him to be that way because that's just the type of guy he is, type of player. So it's kind of like a non-issue, Just out there trying to do what he can to help us win. Like I've said this before, one of our best strategies to win the game is to get Jax the ball. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way we want, or the ball doesn't find him, and you just got to keep chipping away at it. Make some adjustments, maybe, put him in different spots, kind of get to more down the line in game plan wise. But that's just who he is, so it's just kind of a non-issue for us.
Jake Bobo mentioned after the game Cooper Kupp's run blocking. I think he jokingly called like Cooper's run blocking school or something. When you have a receiver who's accomplished everything he has, Super Bowl MVP, Player of the Year, all that, to be that focused on blocking and passing that on to younger receivers, like, what does that do for a team?
Yeah, I mean, again, he's a force multiplier for us, especially in the receiver room. It's like his expertise of the game is just, it's fascinating to me because it's like great teachers can make these all these different things like very simple. So he has just a really great way to explain these things to our guys, and a guy like me can understand, where that's not really my thing, and so I can imagine how that would help guys that actually can do that type of stuff. And so it's exciting, it make it really come to life for those guys.
Has there been anybody else you've coached that has kind of been like that, like a veteran guy who has that understanding?
That's interesting. I think Eric Weddle was kind of ahead of his time, just in terms of seeing like the whole game. He would just be telling guys like in real time how to play plays because he knew it was just. And at that point in my career, I didn't know a lot of that stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, how in the heck does this guy know all this stuff that's about to happen? But he was very similar to Coop.
As glowingly as guys talk about his impact in the room, though, how impressed have you been by Cooper just with his availability after a few injury-plagued years and his production what he can still do at this stage of his career?
Well, I mean, are you surprised that the guy has put himself in position to play great football? Not one bit. I mean, we've had a plan for him. I think probably early in his career, like the amount of workload that he would put in on a daily basis. It's all good. The amount of workload he put in on a daily basis, I think that might have taken a toll on him, but he's been really smart on, Sam and the guys have done a great job of managing his reps. And when he's been out there, he's going, 100 miles an hour. So I'm not surprised.
I know you talked about John and his impact. That he did actually win the award today for executive.
Yeah, Dave told me that's awesome. Yeah, congrats. It's great. Well deserved.
Yeah, just I guess thoughts in general and just kind of the jobs John's done.
Well, I mean, name the thing that we've done. Name a thing that we've done since we've walked in the door 2 years ago, and especially this year, and we've gotten great returns. I mean, in terms of just action items, but I think and I've talked about this at length before, but to me, it's like the leadership is probably needs to get talked about more with him on how he operates daily, and how he treats everybody in the environment that we've been able to create around here is just. I think that's helped our development of our people, that's helped guys take the next steps in their career. And you can kind of go down the list of coaches, personnel, players that have taken another step in their career. And if, you kind of trace it all the way back, it's like, well, John's got a lot of responsibility in that. So, and I'm sure if he was standing right here, he'd be the first to thank all of our personnel staff, just everybody being bought in the same thing. And that's what type of guy he is. So yeah, I'm really happy he won. He deserves it.
What do you remember about your first interactions with John? I don't think you guys had really crossed paths before the interviews, right?
Yeah, we had an interview at the hotel. I was sitting at the hotel. I got a text if he wanted a coffee. I used to live right there, so I knew where he was. Hopped across the street, and it was like we'd known each other forever. It was pretty cool. So, but that's how he is. Like he has this ability to put you at ease. And kind of take the edge off and, let you relax and feel like you can be yourself. And, it's not an easy quality to do because I'm sure I don't do that.
What were your first 5-minute impression of him when you sat down with him? What stood out to you right away?
I think that was it. I mean, we were walking back, so we got to spend some time, him and I, and he was explaining really like the thought behind how the process went, who was part of it, what the thinking was, kind of giving me the whole deal on just where they were coming from, and just to hear him talk about like our people was just really cool. Like talking about Nolan, I think just got promoted, so he's fired up about that. I remember him talking about Nolan becoming the assistant GM. The other people Jody's excitement of the whole thing. So. Par for the course. You can really set the tone.
You obviously you're getting a lot of attention for the vision video that got sent out yesterday, and you're someone who just wants to stay in the now all the time. Visioning is future. So what was that process like for you to kind of look ahead? And did that vision go beyond the NFC Championship?
Yeah, I think the goal of what I was trying to portray to the guys was the feeling of what we're trying to create. Of that it is about us, and it's about our connectedness, and it's about what we're striving to become as a football team. You know, the NFC Championship was really just context of, you know, where we could go. And of course, there's more goals to be had, but that was really the thought behind it. Yeah, I think it's that simple, but it's good to have visualization. Like, that's a powerful tool, and I'm glad it worked.
Mike,
if it did.
Sean lived in 11 personnel for so long as a coach, and then the 3 tight end thing has been such a big thing about what they're doing this year. How have you seen that particular piece, the 13, kind of evolve for them as the season's gone along with how they've done it and where they're using it and deploying it?
Well, I think this is a great example of how of how they evolve from year to year. You know, you can kind of take several things over the last, 3 to 5 years from kind of when they've been making these playoff runs, and they're a team that evolves and adapts and grows throughout the season. I think that's why they've been able to make these runs. And so this is an example of that. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but they got great tight ends, and they found something that was a weapon for them, and they've been able to kind of activate it. And it's not like they're running the same stuff. That has evolved as well over the course of the year. So, which is the same thing they did when they were in 11, and they still do that in 11. So, I bet it's an easy example to see how they operate, and makes you definitely respect how they do it.
That was the latest from Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald ahead of the conference championship on Sunday. Let's take a closer look at the Rams. Our opponent preview with Sarah Barshop next.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical. What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is, because he's so big, it doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
The rainy season's here, Seattle, and your roof can't wait. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off today. Costly repairs and Band-Aid fixes won't hold up and just drain your pockets. Our technicians replace roofs year-round, backed by the strongest warranties. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. BABBEL.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
Trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. This is The Huddle.
The handoff inside to Sherman. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Exclusively on Seattle Sports on 710, Seattle Sports on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app with hosts Michael Bumpus, Stacy Rost, and Dave Wyman.
You go get it.
Time to go inside The Huddle.
An opponent preview with ESPN NFL Nation reporter Sarah Barshop joining us right now. Sarah, how's it going?
It's great. It's been a great week.
Yes, I mean, we're watching. I mean, these were the two best teams all season long. Have thoroughly enjoyed both contests. The Thursday night one, obviously with an electric finish. Unfortunately, not a win for the Rams, but one that captivated the rest of the NFL. I wanted to actually talk about the two games the Rams played to get here. Tell us about LA's path through these two contests, both of which were very close.
Yeah, I mean, 2 road games in two actually pretty loud stadiums. Like, I don't know that I expected going into Carolina that it would be such a loud environment, but really the fans were into it. Obviously the same in Chicago last week. And they were both come back or, you know, the Rams team has had to come back so much this year. And early in the year, they weren't. They lost some games, obviously that game in Seattle, but also against the Eagles. Against the 49ers. And in those two games, what stands out is kind of that they did come back, and Sean McVay said he's impressed by the fight. And I think that's probably what stands out to me is that I think early in the season when players are saying, you know, we lost these games now, we're becoming callous, like we're not going to let it happen again. I think it's one thing to say that. I think it's another thing to do it. And what the Rams have shown in these last two games is that they are capable of coming back and winning those games.
Sarah, tell us about Puka Nacua and just the kind of person that he is and the kind of teammate that he is. I mean, I can imagine that, you know, he's inspiring to almost even offensive linemen. I mean, the way that he battles and how physical he is. Tell us a little bit about him.
You know, it's funny, you ask players about him, and one of the first thing they bring up is his blocking and that physicality you mentioned, and just that he is just as happy to block on a long Jordan Whittingham catch and run as he is for it to be himself, you know, making that catch. And players talk about how his attitude is just infectious. And I think you see that on the field. You see it. We've seen him mic'd up a couple times, and you can see that his teammates feed off his energy. And then obviously a very productive football player too. And so he's in his 3rd season, and I think I was actually asking some players and coaches about it last week, just about the growth they've seen. And Devontae Adams was saying, it was cool because he wanted to learn from me. And he was like, and I'm learning just as much from Puka as he is from me, but it's cool to come in and find that relationship with a player who was very good. And he said, he doesn't have to be humble because he's had a lot of success, but he still is.
How has Devontae Adams look since he's been back from the hamstring?
Yeah, he's talked about how he's kind of had to get off a little bit of the rust just because of the time he missed. I think it was interesting to me that I think he had his first catch came in the fourth quarter on Sunday against the Bears. And after the game, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, I believe, both talked about wanting to get him more involved. But he said, the more I've played, the more comfortable I've gotten back out there. But I'm sure a hamstring injury, he's probably not 100%. I imagine at this point of the year, not many players are, but I think especially dealing with a hamstring injury late in the season, he's still working back. But I know that a couple players have pointed out this week the difference that, yes, they lost in Seattle in Week 16, but they didn't have Devontae Adams out there.
Hey, I wanted to ask a couple injury questions ahead of this one. I know Young is one that you guys are watching, just the latest on him, and then anything else that people kind of have an eye on.
Yeah, he won't practice again today, but Sean McVay has, and I actually asked Sean today, I said, is it the same knee he's been kind of dealing with all year? Because he's been on the injury report as rest quite often, and he said, yeah, it's the same injury. He's been taking the mental reps, but we're just trying to be smart with it. He expects him to be good to go. I know in Chicago I saw him limping a little bit on the sideline, but then as soon as the play started, he's going full send. So sounds like something they're managing, and they expect him to play, but he won't practice again today. And then Quentin Lake, who was dealing with an illness, Sean McVay said yesterday he had a little bit of a bug. He will practice today. And I know Sean said he was hoping that it was a short-term thing, and it sounds like it will be because he'll be back out there today.
Hey, Sarah, tell me about Nate Landman. Fascinating to me. I think he was a good player in Atlanta. He's become a great player. And, 17 starts this year, and obviously in the playoffs, knocks down passes. He's a master at knocking the ball out. What has he meant to that defense? And was it kind of a surprise? What is it about that scheme or whatever that brought out the best of his abilities?
Yeah, I think to me the most telling part was that he got here in March, and in August he was voted a team captain. And when that happened, I mean, I imagine you don't see a lot of first-year team captains. And I talked to some players about it, some of his teammates, and he said, and they were kind of like, he communicates. He is so willing to. They said on the field, obviously he's wearing the green dot, and it's kind of that energy we talked about with Puka. They feel it there. Obviously, the big thing is kind of in the peanut punch. One teammate told me he's just all over the field. You look at him, and I think also with Quentin Lake missing time this year, I think Landman stepped up a little bit more to even more of that leadership role on the defense. So part of it, I think, is we saw him all training camp working on that punch out. He had a lot of success early in the season, but I think it's the way he communicates that so quickly endeared him to his teammates. And we've seen a lot of success, obviously, on the field, too.
Hey, both our quarterbacks seems to be banged up, right? You got Sam Darnold with an oblique. He played through it. Matthew Stafford with a finger injury. He played through it. What's the status of Matthew Stafford, and how do you feel like he looks playing in that cold?
He said he's good to go. I mean, he was asked about it after the game, was your finger affecting some of the throws? And he said no. I mean, he kind of said, I just didn't play very well at times in that game. So I'm sure the cold did not help. The snow did not help. I think we saw for multiple players kind of how that snow and the weather in Chicago affected them. But he says he's good to go. And I also believe that even if he was not 100% or wasn't good to go, he would not tell us and say that all was good. So you never know with him.
The Rams are an amazing team, and this isn't meant to be a slight, but quite a few points given up. I'm not watching every single one of their snaps. Is there something that's lost when it comes to, why the defense or why the team has given up more points than they're probably comfortable with? Maybe something that, I'm not seeing.
I think it was the injury of Quentin Lake, because that's about when he got hurt in that first Seattle game, and that's when I think we saw a shift in the defense. I think they really missed him. Even in the run game, I think he is such a difference maker in that secondary and on that defense. And now he's come back. He played in the first playoff game, but I imagine that is something that they are continuing to work on. I mean, the pass rush, I don't believe Caleb Williams was sacked once. Obviously, they were getting some pressure on him, but I think missing Lake kind of set the defense back. And I think a key, I'm sure, as you guys know, is the pass rush being able to get to Sam Darnold this week.
Yeah. She is ESPN Sarah Barshop, kind enough to join us and help us preview this one. Thanks so much, Sarah.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Voice of the Seahawks, Dave Raible, coming your way next.
We are finally just about set.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
Touchdown, Seahawks! A perfect pass by Darnold.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
These guys, they take it very seriously.
Seahawks, Rams, Sunday at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 3:30.
I really had a hard time hearing thanks to the 12s.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event. Powered by WFC, Friday night, February 6th. A night of professional boxing where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, February 6th at Emerald Queen Casino, the boxing capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
All teed up.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game. Sunday, kickoff at 3:30. Only on Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. So glad, so thankful that Molly and I made the call. Had heard so many First Mark Challenge victories, we needed to take that challenge. What does happen from your perspective when that caller, when that email, when that person reaches out to you for a First Mark Challenge victory?
That's a great question. So there's several steps we go through in the process. The first step is we're going to gather information, find out all we can about that client and what their needs are. The next step is we will go out to the market. We have dozens and dozens of carriers that will compete for the business. At the end of that process, we will then bring those findings back to the customer, show them what we found, and who the eventual winner was in that competition.
And it may be who they're with.
It might be, yes. And sometimes that's the best we can do is recommend they stay where they are, but maybe modify a few coverages to put them in a better position.
So go take that challenge today. Go be the next First Mark Challenge victory. It costs you nothing, and they will be there with you every step of the way. FirstMarkInsurance.com. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Back to the huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Steve Raible joining us now. Rabes, before we look ahead to the Rams, I want to look back at that last game. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it in person, but everyone has told me that the Rashid Shaheed return touchdown was maybe the loudest they've heard the stadium in years and years and years. What was it like on that call, and what was that environment like?
Well, the environment was spectacular, as you would expect it to be. We have the headsets on, so we're kind of buffered from hearing the full blast of the fans. But even through the headsets, it's difficult for me to even hear the call. I'm not sure I even got any of the names right because I couldn't hear myself talking. But it was pretty remarkable, and it's just kind of what we expect, especially this time of year. And it's why all the players, to a person, have said this week that, being at home is just such a huge advantage, especially in a game against, a team that you know very well, like the Rams.
How do you survive your co-host making grunting noises in the background and still able to make a call? It's pretty amazing.
I just ignore it. Like everything else my broadcast partner says, I just try to ignore what he says or grunts, and we just move on. And that's probably the best way.
All right, Raible, what do you think about this? That's enough. I shouldn't have queued you up for that. What do you think about this matchup? I mean, you look at, we gave them 4 opportunities inside our own 50 in the first game. And then, the last one, inexplicably, and we don't talk a lot about this, is that the defense gave up more yards than in franchise history. How do you think this one plays out in your mind?
Well, they're so evenly matched, these two teams, and they know each other so well. I think it's going to come down. Of course, I think I said this before the San Francisco playoff game. It usually comes down to 1 or 2 plays. Well, against San Francisco, it came down to about 5 or 6 scoring plays, which is the ones that we made and they didn't. But I think it really will come down to just a couple of plays. And oftentimes, yes, it could be a huge play. It could be a big touchdown reception by JSN or a big run by K9. But it could also be, a Stafford getting away from a possible sack and letting it fly, and Puka Nacua grabs it between 2 defenders and takes off for 40 yards and a touchdown. I mean, again, it's why we play them. I think that I believe we have the better team all the way around, offense, defense, special teams, but that doesn't always mean you're going to win the game. I think being at home is really going to help, but Matthew Stafford, he's thrown for 300 yards or more in 6 of his 8 road playoff games. So it doesn't seem to matter where he's playing. What matters is, can we get pressure on him and get him off his spot and disrupt his timing? That's what's going to make a difference in this game.
Rabes, this defense obviously has been playing at just a super high level, and the Rams' offense is still there, but not the offense that we saw maybe later on in the season. What do you think is going to be the key for this defense? Is it the same old as every week, just D-line cause some chaos, or do you see something else?
No, I think that's going to be the biggest part of it. I also think, in the secondary, we gave up some big plays that we just shouldn't have given up. I heard you breaking down the video of a couple of those receptions, especially by Puka Nacua in that last game. And, we had guys that were right there in the neighborhood, but they just misplayed the ball or they were not quite in the right position. And the ball was thrown very well. I go back to what I know Leo said yesterday, and that is you got to get pressure, find a way to get some pressure, manufacture it somehow, or just overpower the guys up front for the Rams to get pressure on Matthew Stafford, because he is not Brock Purdy. He is not going to scramble out of trouble, run a lot, throw on the run. He's going to try to get that ball out of his hands quickly, and that makes it more difficult on your defense when he's throwing the ball so quickly. So you got to find a way to disrupt that timing somewhere, whether it's in the back end or in the front end. But I think our defense can do that, and I think ultimately they will.
JSN nominated for AP Offensive Player of the Year. Congratulations to him. Excluding him from this possible answer, though, Rabes, is there a Seahawks player, a weapon on offense that you think, you know what, he's got a chance to have a good game? I like him in a couple of these matchups.
Well, K9 is probably my top pick there. The way he's come on here toward the end of the season, the last half a dozen games, he ran really well against the Rams the second time we played him. He really seems to have gotten into a rhythm with his offensive line, and give them about half the credit too, because they're making some terrific blocks near the line of scrimmage. Tight ends and wide receivers are blocking in the second level and third level. But K9 has really shown to be one of those guys that I think he can put the team kind of on his back at times when he's running the ball. 3 touchdowns against the Niners. If he can have even remotely that kind of game against the Rams, I think we do pretty well. And that doesn't always mean scoring a lot of points. But if he can run the ball successfully, it means the ball is in your hands for a longer period of time, and it's not in Matthew Stafford and the Rams' offense's hands. So controlling that time of possession, running the football, and pushing that Rams defense around a little bit, I think that will go a long way. But, yeah, my second choice would be K9, the way he's playing lately.
Rabes, you were a receiver, and we just had Jake Bobo in here, and we were talking about the blocking that's come from the receivers. It's been phenomenal, and I think over the last few games, the sort of themes on the field on defense, the open field tackling has been just spot on, but then the blocking downfield, man. I mean, that for a receiver, I mean, you're not the biggest guys in the world, but the want to has been very impressive, and it seems like they're really coming on in that category.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not like you have to knock guys on their back. You don't have to just knock them out of the ballpark. Just getting in their way. The way our running backs run, the way the plays are designed. If you just shield them off for a half a step, K9 or whomever is going to be running in K9's stead when he takes a break, there's room to run there. When a tight end catches a tight end screen, if it's Barner or whomever catches a tight end screen and turns upfield, all you got to do is screen somebody off for a half a step. But you're right, Dave. It's that 1-2 to get there into position to do that. And, we've been lucky around here with the Seahawks. I mean, I can go all the way back to the days of Largent. I mean, he was a terrific blocker. Sam McCullum was an excellent blocker as a receiver. And you can just work your way all the way through the years. The guys have been really, really effective in blocking. And so now the guys outside, Cooper Kupp, one of the best blocking receivers in the league right now. All of them are doing their jobs, tight ends as well. You got to keep that up. One of the things that we haven't really talked about, I don't think you and I haven't talked about much, this is the third road game now in a row, playoff-wise, for the Rams. That's really difficult. To come in here, they know how loud it's going to be. They know all those things. It's tough to go on the road 3 straight weeks and win football games. I'm not saying they can't do it because it's a football game. Anything can happen. But I think I think our guys are set. That's why you play all those games. That's why you win all the games you did, so you can host these playoffs. And I think that's going to set well for our guys.
Voice of the Seahawks, Steve Raible here. I'm on the call Sunday. Thanks, Rabes.
Thanks, Rabes.
Hey, can I throw one more thing in?
Yes.
Has your broadcast partner mentioned anything today of interest?
What?
Just football analysis, Raves. You know, that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I called Bump last night to inform him that he is going to be inducted into the Pacific Northwest Football Hall of Fame.
Hey, what?
Let's go.
You tell us that, man. What's the matter with you?
Why are you
Hey,
trying
Dave,
to be
guess
humble?
what?
You should have kicked down the door and told us this.
Thanks,
Oh,
Raves.
that's
I
awesome.
appreciate it. That was a fun phone call, Raves. I appreciate you.
In his years with WSU and what he has gone on to do, it was an easy choice for all of us on the committee. So I just wanted to congratulate you out there, brother, and let everybody know that this is much deserved, and let your coworkers know that you're not the slacker they think you are.
This has completely changed my perception. No, Bump's going to be even worse now. First, you're bragging about your golf game. Then you do these charity events. He's golfing with Reggie Bush. Now this?
Raves, you just made my day that much more difficult, Raves.
Well, congratulations, my friend. You deserve it.
Appreciate you.
Okay, brother.
That's awesome,
Right.
man.
Yeah, that is very, very
Congratulations.
cool. We'll talk about it more during the break. I got to get us out of here. We're going in the trenches with Ray Roberts next.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
Holy catfish!
Sunday, kickoff at 3:30.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Back to the huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Going in the trenches with Ray Roberts joining us now. Big Ray, how's it going?
It's going great. How you guys doing?
Fantastic, and this team is looking good, although they did lose a key member heading into this game. Zach Charbonnet out for the season. I wanted to start with the run game, in particular, kind of who, I don't want to say picks up the slack, but what becomes your approach without Charbonnet? How does it change things? And do you still expect big games from Walker?
Oh, I still think that Kenneth Walker is kind of on fire right now. I think he's found his rhythm. He's found a great connectedness to the offensive line. He's getting downhill really fast. And I do think that they can use him in other fashions, like in the screen game and the passing game, so he doesn't have to run between the tackles the entire time to have an impact on the game. If they can find other ways to get him out in space to use his skill set, then I think that can offset the loss of Charbonnet because, George Kalani does a good job of, getting some of those leaky yards, running between the tackles. He has the ability to make people miss and run through tackles. It's kind of like a poor man Charbonnet. So I think they should be fine. I really do think that the biggest change in our run game in the last 3 to 4 weeks is that I think the offensive line decided and realized that they can play the same type of physical football that our defensive line plays. And they've gained confidence in it. You can see in the way they come off the ball, like Raible may have like the quickest first step of any guard in the league. Sometimes he gets off the ball so fast, I feel like he's false starting, but he's not. He's just ready to go. You can see the energy in him. Even Bradford, even though he has his plays where he does his thing, the dude is still playing really good football, been really dominant in the run game. Jones did a good job while he was in there. Charles Cross has been a good run blocker all year, and Big Abe is always like a tone setter. So to me, this is going to be – I was thinking about it today. This is like Clubber Lang and Rocky. It's like the Thriller in Manila. You know what I'm saying? It is like the brawl for it all. It's the battle in Seattle. This is where it's going to happen. It's the
fight for your life.
You know what I'm saying, Mike? It's cool that all the little short, skilled guys are going to be doing their thing, but this game is going to be won in the trenches. Whoever dominates the trenches will win this football game on both sides of the football.
Not the short, skilled guy.
I think he was aiming at you, Bo.
I think that was a shot.
I know my lane.
About 5'7" on a good day.
Hey, I know my lane. When you need me, toss it up top. When y'all done fighting in them trenches.
Hey, Ray, who do you think is the player on the offensive line that's improved the most? I think, to me, what I've seen out of Sundell lately, I think is something special. But you tell me, who's gotten better as the season's gone along?
Well, I'll tell you that Sundell has surprised me the most because he's not the biggest dude. He doesn't look like he's the strongest guy, but he's a super athletic dude. He can get out and pull, from the center position. Like, back in the day, that was kind of unheard of. I think Kevin McWide was like one of the first centers that kind of made that commonplace where the center would actually pull and lead the running back around the corner. It's really hard to do. And Sundell has been able to do that. And the way his explosion off the ball, like he may have to fight a little bit to sustain blocks because of his size, but he gets off the ball really quickly and he gets up to the second level really well. And so I don't know if he's the most improved guy, but he's the guy that has surprised me the most. I didn't think that he was going to bring that type of stuff to the table. I thought that maybe Olu had like a little bit of an advantage when it came to like strength and stuff, but Sundell had the athletic piece of it, and they found a really good way to utilize him and his athleticism to make it work in this offense. And so the way he's been able to play next to Bradford, and the way he's been able to do these combination blocks with a really athletic Raible, I think it's just been the way those three have kind of progressed together has been probably the most improvement.
Hey, Big Ray, I know you mentioned at times, like sometimes the tight end's just getting away, right? You're like, man, just go to the other side and let me do my thing. But the way A.J. Barner and Eric Saubert have been blocking has been really impressive. How have they helped these tackles in this run game?
Because, like, in this outside zone, stretch zone, even on the inside zone deal, there's two places where it can fall apart really fast. One is in those center guard spots. If you don't have good push in the middle, it kind of distorts like a lot of different things. And so the running back has to run horizontally versus kind of attacking the line of scrimmage. And then the other part is out on the edge. If a tight end can't take over a double team or slide up to the second level, then you're basically going to have one guy free all the time. And so in my career, I played with Farrell Edmonds when he was here in Seattle. This dude is 6'7", 6'8", and about 260 pounds. And I just knew every now and again, I'd be like, you got him? Because I'm just going to go up to the linebacker. You're good over here? And he's like, yeah, I got it. And so you just knew that you didn't have to worry about it. And in Detroit, I played this guy, David Sloan, who was a big, strong tight end, a great blocker. And so it just made all of that stuff about capturing the edge, being able to get up to the second level for the offensive tackle to kind of really create those lanes for the running back to run in. Having a tight end that is efficient at blocking, they'll have to be super dominant and pancaking everybody, even though these guys get that too. But having guys that can do that, it's like, I don't want to say they're extra offensive linemen. It's just another weapon along the offensive line that can help you secure those lanes for the running backs to find to gain yards.
I was listening to a preview for this game where one of the hosts said, obviously Seattle's defense is absolutely amazing, and that's going to be the single biggest challenge for the Rams. And he said, but to be honest, like I felt better about Chicago's offense than I do Seattle's. Do you think Seattle's offense is being a little disrespected coming into this one?
I think so. I think, especially when it comes to like Sam Darnold and what he brings to the table, is like the goalpost is always moving. Like he was a quarterback. If we're keeping quarterback wins and losses, he's a quarterback that beat the 49ers. He's a quarterback that led the comeback or was part of the comeback against the Rams. And everyone still feels like he hasn't won the big game yet. Those are humongous games, And then I think offensively, I think people think that JSN is the only explosiveness that we have on offense. And then I don't think they're really buying into the running game yet. But I've used this example time and time again, that when the Colts won the Super Bowl, it was because the running game got on fire right at the end of the season, and they rushed for 120, 130 yards a game for the rest of the playoffs into the Super Bowl. And so I think even though this offensive line has played a beat-up 49ers team, maybe some other teams that weren't the best against the run, but it allowed them to find their confidence in what they're doing. Sometimes you just need a get-right game, and I think they've had a couple get-right games where this is what it feels like. This is how this block is supposed to work. This is how the running back attacks this lane. This is when a running back knows that the lane is going to be there for him to run through, it's a different approach to it. You're not trying to wait to see what's going to happen. You're really attacking it. And I think Kanon is really attacking the line of scrimmage because the offensive line is really attacking the assignments. And I don't think people are like really completely bought into that yet. And then obviously I don't think anybody's bought into Sam quite yet because they just keep changing, moving the goalposts on it.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Big Ray. He is Big Ray Roberts. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You guys, I've been waiting for the last 2 weeks because I missed last week's game. I wasn't able to be in the stadium. And I'm just I think I must have texted and asked about 5 times already. Like, hey, is Sunday here yet? I'm just like, Doc, I'm going to beat you to the stadium for the second time all in the last 5 years.
For the second time.
I'm going to be the first one there. You guys are going to have to be waiting. Going, oh, man, is Ray going to make it on time? I'm going to be up in that thing ready to go, bro, because this is like one of those, in boxing, sometimes at the end of the fight when you have 2 great fighters, they just point to the middle of the ring and they just stand there and go blow to blow to blow. That's what this fight, this is what this is going to be. This is not going to be a game where one team gets to warm up to the fight. You better come already ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, no jabs, no soft blows. These are haymakers from the beginning to the end. And I really do think that the Seahawks are going to walk out victorious.
All right, listeners, Seahawks fans, you already know where to find that energy. 3 hours before kickoff for the pregame show, 3 hours after. Big Ray Roberts, obviously, on with Michael Bumpus. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
All right, you guys have a good one.
See ya.
Don't get in Ray's way. He's fired up this weekend, man.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go. John Boyle joins us next.
We are finally just about set.
1 win away from the Super Bowl.
Touchdown, Seahawks! A perfect pass by Darnold.
Here's Steve Raible and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
These guys, they take it very seriously.
Seahawks, Rams, Sunday at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 3:30.
Really having a hard time hearing thanks to the 12s.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event. Powered by WFC, Friday night, February 6th. A night of professional boxing where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, February 6th at Emerald Queen Casino, the boxing capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
Back to the huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Boyle, John Boyle, Seahawks.com, joining us right now. Boyle, I was just telling you off air that I had a lot more nerves for Seattle for this game heading into it. Not only is it just higher stakes, bigger stage, conference championship game, but it's a great team. They've really just fought each other in a back and forth battle over the season. I think 2 points and a yard or something like that separates the two. So because of that, I've been listening to a lot of content ahead of this one, and I'm listened to one this morning, and one of the hosts was saying, I believe more in the Rams offense. Frankly, I believed more in Chicago's offense than I do in Seattle's, and I didn't wholeheartedly disagree. The Rams offense statistically was better this season than Seattle's was, but I also feel like Seattle's offense has not been completely carried by the defense all season. They were, to start the first chunk of the year, one of the most explosive in football. So what I'm asking is, to what extent do you think that explosiveness or that potential for this offense to look great could factor into this one?
Yeah, I think their offense has changed a little bit. They haven't been there. We haven't seen as much of the downfield, explosive passing game. Statistically, that's true. Whether they can get back to that or not in this game, we'll have to see what happens. But they're also running the ball a hell of a lot better than they were early in the season. They're 4 straight games over 160 yards. So I think, that's a huge step up for them offensively. And look, yeah, you're right. The Rams, they were number one offense statistically all year. So I get that sentiment. But guess what? The Seahawks defense was pretty damn good this year too. So, I don't think, either team has a huge edge over the other. I think that's why they are the last two teams standing in the NFC. And I think you could find a lot of people around the league who would say they're the best two teams left in the NFL, period. So it's hard to, make predictions about this game because these teams are just both so good.
What have you heard from K9 and seen from him that, he just looks like a guy that just gets better every week, at least the second half of the season anyway?
Yeah, I think a lot of running backs benefit from getting going in games, getting more touches, and he's been getting the ball a little more just because they're running the ball better as a whole. Now they're going to need to lean on him even more with Zach Charbonnet unfortunately injured. But yeah, he's been a guy that has been, as Mike Macdonald said, he's been getting better as the year goes along. He had arguably his best game of the season in a playoff game. So yeah, they're going to need him. Again, they're missing their number 2 guy. So I think this is a great opportunity for Kenneth Walker to really show on a huge stage what he can do.
Do you think the Rams will kick it to Shaheed?
I don't. And not just because they probably rightly would be a little worried about doing it, but also if you go back and watch them all season, they're a team that seems content to boot it through the end zone.
Knuckleball that thing? Or
just kick it deep. They've kicked it deep a lot this year. I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but especially against the Seahawks with Rashid Shaheed, I think they're more willing to just play defense from the 35-yard line than take their chances on returns.
I'm going to ask you the boring question, but it's because a lot of fans are always curious about injury updates, particularly when we say earlier in the show, Bump and I's show,
when all their tackles are in the
all
injury
the
report.
tackles
Look,
are hurt.
it's a fair concern. I get it.
So what's the latest?
Yeah, I mean, so Mike Macdonald said today, we'll see what the injury report says, that with Charles Cross, they're optimistic he's going to play. Foot injuries can be the kind of things where he's able to get through it, but it's just probably going to hurt, so they're going to have to manage it during the week to just take some stress off that foot. But sounds like he's probably good to go. We'll see. Josh Jones, who's been the backup, didn't play last week because of the knee. Amari Kite comes in. Now he's on the injury report. So we're just going to have to kind of see how it shakes out with those guys. But the most important thing, it does sound like they'll have their starter out there.
I like the phrase loose and focused.
Yeah, it's a big one.
You've been around playoff teams here, and, it obviously ramps up. I mean, it's obvious, so I feel like you don't even need to talk about it. But it seems like this team with the messaging and everything really is just, you don't see anybody that, is too excited one way or the other. I feel like that's been a message that's been very clear for this team during the playoffs.
It's funny that the video that's been blowing up that we posted yesterday on the Seahawks channels, Mike Macdonald in his very first team meeting, he talks about, picture yourselves in this situation, laying out the NFC Championship game at Lumen Field. And he uses loose, I don't think he says loose and focused together, but he says we're loose, we're focused. It's like that's been his messaging, whether he really intended it to be this way since the very first day. And now it's a phrase you hear repeated from players all the time. And it does. I think it helps you get through the season and have fun and work hard while you're doing it. But where I think it really pays off is in these really huge moments that you don't make them too big. You're just like, okay, let's go have a Thursday and have a good time and practice and have fun and get ready for a game.
Do you think K9 will get a few more carries than typical, or do you feel like they will try to distribute the carries between the other two backs and K9?
I think you'd get him a little more. I mean, we'll see what happens with George Halani. He practiced fully yesterday, so that's a good sign. I think if he's back, maybe you try to get him some touches. They'll probably either sign or elevate one or both of Velus Jones and Cam Akers. So I think the overall workload, would shift a little more to Ken Walker without Zach Charbonnet, just because he's your guy and he's touched the ball a lot. But they'll get other guys involved. You're not going to ask him to play every single down back there.
I didn't get the impression from Mike Macdonald on Monday that Sam Darnold's oblique was worsened by this start.
It sounds like it's better. He said he's feeling better coming out of that game than he was last week going into it. But at the same point, they are going to, you saw he was limited on the injury report. I'm guessing, we'll see, but I'm guessing we might see him limited all week just because they don't want him ripping throws the whole time, just to let it, stay calm down and then get him to game day and see how that goes. But it sounds like he came out of it definitely not worse for the wear, and if anything, sounds like he's improving.
Nice.
Seems like Mike's handling the media stuff and all the excitement and everything really well for a young coach. And I always feel kind of sorry for him because he's like, I just want to coach football.
Yeah.
And it just seems like he's doing a great job with that. You can't really tell the difference between when it's like the preseason or the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that real steady demeanor that I think is part of his coaching style, and I think it affects the team. Kind of just what we're talking about, the loose and focus. Like, I think that helps the team not tense out. He's not changing who he is this week and giving fiery speeches and telling the guys it's do or die or anything. Like, they're just gonna go do what they've been doing, and his leadership style is it's different than some head coaches, but it works really well for this team.
From what you can see, I know it's kind of tough, but Mike Macdonald said the last time they played, he gave his defense too much. Does it feel like he's cutting back a bit and making things more simple? I know you're not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not nothing to disclose from practice, but just hearing Mike say that, it makes sense. Of he jokes about it all the time. I think there's truth behind the jokes. It's he's a guy that's tinkering up till game time, and they're installing things on Saturday sometimes. And I think that's just the way his mind works. Is he's such a brilliant guy that he's always thinking of something new and something different. And there can be too much, quite frankly. Just because he can picture it in his head working doesn't necessarily mean the players can learn it, get it right, execute it. So I think we'll see what and it's always a fun chess match because he's going to adjust, but we know Sean McVay is too, and what makes these matchups so cool is like you got two of the very best on each side of the ball going against each other.
On a very related note, kind of building off of that, is there something that you don't expect to happen this time around that did in Week 16?
I mean, I think just limiting explosives. I just can't see this defense giving up.
Right.
I mean, look, the Rams are really freaking good on defense or offense. They're gonna get some plays. You're not gonna do to them, I don't think, what you did to the 49ers and keep them out of the end zone for 2 straight games and all that. But like this Seahawks defense hasn't given up a play longer than 20 yards in 3 straight games.
Crazy stat.
That I just don't see. Again, they're not going to shut them out necessarily, but just not the over and over big plays and 30 whatever points it was. I just can't see that happening again to this defense.
Okay, before we let you go, I was going to make a very easy wrap up for us in our final thoughts. All you're going to do is choose who you think will get the first touchdown for Seattle. Hopefully they find the end zone. I feel confident that they can, but who does it first? We'll go Wyman, Boyle, Bump. And you can repeat.
Okay, I'm going A.J. Barner. He hasn't. I mean, that route he ran in the second game, the touchdown, great catch, great route, shakes the guy to the ground. We haven't really seen a whole bunch of like highlights from him, so I'm going to go with AJ. You can't keep him down.
Yeah, Boyle.
I went with Cooper Kupp as my pick last week when you said somebody kind of X factor. So let's keep riding Cooper Kupp. He came through last week, leading receiver.
Yeah.
Let's get him his first touchdown first touchdown of the game against his former team.
I'm very Family Feud with good answer. Bump.
Coby Bryant, pick 6.
Oh,
good answer.
I almost
good
said EJ.
answer.
I was thinking him too. I went Coby though.
I'm going to say Sam Darnold keeper.
Okay.
No, I think it'll be a barnyard.
Barnyard,
I think it'll be a barnyard. I think they're going to be very willing to get into the red zone so they can get another shot at trying that.
If they use Sam Darnold and keeper, can we call it the oblique sneak?
Ooh, Boyle. Trademark it right now. Make sure you're reading more from Boyle at Seahawks.com.
Boyle.
You'll hear Wyman on the call with Rabes. And, of course, tune into the Seahawks pre- and post-game show hosted by Michael Bumpus. This has been The Huddle.
You've been listening to The Huddle. Exclusively on Seattle Sports on 710, Seattle Sports on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app. Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks. Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical. What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, Christian McCaffrey has become only the second player to be a finalist for 3 AP NFL awards in the same year, joining Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May,